Hello there.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome. It's been a while,
A little bit.
but welcome to another episode of the Tabletop Trio podcast. We've got an awesome episode for you today. I'm Bob,
I'm Joe.
I'm Bronson.
and we have a special guest in studio. If you're watching live on twitch.tv/tabletop trio, Cast Iron Kyle has joined us once again,
Oh,
but
thank you for having me.
this
Alright.
time he's going to be here at the table with us.
I get
Yes.
a seat.
Yes, instead of cooking for us and all that kind of thing.
I made the reservation in time.
Yes.
I have a spot. It was cool because last time when I was here, I was like, man, they're having fun over there. I was like a mom cooking, watching the kids play. Like,
Come back.
like, oh man, they're laughing. Oh shit, the steak's burning. Let me turn it. You know, like. But I told you guys I wanted to come and not cook anything. Not, like just chill. And this is awesome. So I'm really appreciative of being here.
Yeah, this is a more lax episode
For sure.
where you just get to sit here and not run around my kitchen.
Yeah, yeah. Joe, where's the spatula, Joe? Drinking green beer for St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
This is
that's the
a-
thing. That's coming up this Thursday.
Shamrock
or
Shake
Friday.
beer, huh?
Cheers.
What do you
wow.
guys think?
It's Shamrocky.
Shamrock Shaky.
It smells like a Shamrock Shake.
I guess now's not the time to say I've never had a Shamrock Shake.
No, it's definitely not the time.
Boy, this tastes like
Just
it.
like you would think it would.
It tastes like one. It
Yeah.
100% tastes like one.
Yep. It's interesting. Just figured, like, you know what? Everybody's had an IPA by this point. Let's just bring something different here
So, real
to the
talk,
table.
the flavor of Shamrock Shake is just mint chocolate cookie, right?
It's mint with like more like a vanilla base as well. It's got a vanilla. It's got a base of a milkshake, which is I think vanilla.
I thought Shamrock Shakes were just vanilla milkshakes with like mint in it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty much it.
that's all
Yeah.
they are.
'Cause I'm getting strong Girl Scout cookie vibes out of this. Like
That's
the Thin
good.
Mints.
You know,
You
yeah.
bought it. You bought it in front of an Acme.
You were guilted in buying
you were
an extra
pressured.
box.
Dude, whenever I buy Girl Scout cookies, I always tell them to do the math because I kind of want to like make it like an educational like commerce thing. I'm like, all right, so if they're $6 a box and I bought 4 of them, how much is it? The mom's like, that'll be $24. I'm like, would you shut up?
Damn it, Karen.
Implying that I can't do the math. I
Right.
drove here. I know the math. I'm trying, and the girls are like, oh, like we would have gotten it eventually, Mom. Like I always feel like,
I get 2 boxes per gallon on my gas tank. I know how to do the Girl Scout cookie math.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
Did you guys have the new one, the Heath one? The new,
There's a new one?
It's like
There's a new
Heath
one.
Toffee, not Heath. It's toffee crisp cookie thing.
I was not aware. So
I love Heath bars, so like
So, yeah, dude,
I'm
same.
about that.
Heath bar. My girlfriend could use those as positive reinforcement for me. Did you do the laundry? Oh, look what we have.
Who's a good boy?
Yeah.
Do you want a treat?
Yeah, there's dishes in the sink. You can get another one of these bad boys.
That's me with the lemonade ones.
if you go check the garbage, there might be
That's
one
right.
taped to the back.
That's so funny how like life evolves when you're in a relationship and living in a house and stuff like that. Like leading up to like a nice night, you're like, guess who did the litter? Like it, that's like
Guess who put out the shit box today?
exactly.
It was my wife when I got home. She's like, garbage is all done. I'm like, look at you.
That's your pillow talk. Tomorrow is right. Make sure you take the trash out before you go to work.
Got recycle day tomorrow.
Oh,
So how's everything been, guys? What are we excited about? What's going on?
a little bit everything.
Okay.
The hobbies have been too many.
It looks very jungle love in here.
Yeah,
man.
I decided to just have a forest.
I love it. I think it's wonderful, and they do say the science behind having a lot of plants in your house makes your oxygen a little bit more diversified, I guess, or more healthy.
So they did the math on that.
Okay.
The amount of plants you would have to have in your house to make the oxygen better, you would have like 1 square foot for you to walk around in.
So
So this is mostly just for show.
it looks nice though.
But
I like it.
these are all, it's direct right of where you guys can't
It's
see.
like right behind the camera.
Those are all edible.
yeah, that's
none
like an
of-
herb garden, right?
Herbs, eggplants,
Lettuce.
lettuce, a lot of lettuce.
Catnip.
Catnip is in there, so I can get my cats the good stuff. I got that fresh grown drug. So
Do you find that having catnip keeps them from biting the other plants? Like if they have a plant they know they can tear up.
No, there's a lettuce directly on the other side of the catnip.
Okay.
And if you've noticed, there's not a lot of lettuce there. We were on Scream once, just doing our thing, and then we just looked over, and my cat was just like, and just went to take like a nibble.
Big old
Dicks.
chomp.
They're
Yeah.
such
I was like,
dicks.
that's lettuce. You don't even, cats don't like lettuce. It's just crunchy water.
My cat does it and looks us in the eye. Like picture like a bad kid. Like don't touch that glass. Psh, you know, my
Oh,
cat's
yeah.
like, this plant is so nice. It would be a big shame if somebody did that to it. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? We're right here.
Yeah, my cats like to eat the fake plants, so we started getting real ones because the idiots just kept eating the fake ones.
They had to pretend to eat the fake ones.
Yeah. No, they weren't pretending. That's the problem.
Oh gosh. So you guys have indicated to me that you are going to come to the Boston Hot Sauce Festival.
That is correct.
We are.
And that is very cool. That makes me very happy because I am already like stressed out about what's going to be going on with it, and like, you know, if I'm going to know anybody, like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm out of my element. They're like picking me up and plopping me here. Like my brother's coming with me. I got my buddy PJ's coming with his camera. My buddy Phil's coming with his camera. But like, I've sat down and like had long form conversations with you guys. Like, I feel like we've connected through Hot Sauce. So it's like really cool that you guys are going. I think it's really neat that you guys are going to go up to Boston and do this. You're going to do some coverage before, during, after, incorporate that into your podcast. I think it's great. And I can't wait to see what you guys do with all the you know, the footage, the audio. What do you guys plan on
The
doing?
stuff. You
So I have a very base and rudimentary idea of what we're going to do. I'm thinking Friday we do like a pre-show kind of thing.
Okay.
Just kind of say, you know, hey, we're going to be here. You know, if you're up in the Boston area, make sure you pop in, say hi.
Okay.
Grab your tickets, especially if you love hot sauce, like that kind of deal.
Right.
And then Saturday, Sunday, just go around, enjoy the festival, talk to the vendors that are there.
If I
You
may,
know.
copious consumption of capsaicin.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That was worth
The
it.
triple C's.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, go around, talk to the different vendors, get some interviews, and just
Yeah.
kind of learn about them, like who they are, what they do, how
Yep.
they get their start, you know, what their favorite sauce is.
How they develop a sauce
You
would be
know,
a cool thing. Like,
Exactly.
it's great because almost like podcasts, the hot sauce world, there's no like feast or famine mentality. They're all so into working together.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I did when I went to Saucetoberfest, which is like the North Jersey kind of
Nice.
sauce
Fantastic name.
festival, and then the New York City Hot Sauce Festival. You just notice these people are like helping each other. Hey, can I borrow your tape? Or like they're so, it's such a communal thing. Like I think that you guys will really see that, and it's like podcasting. There's no podcast like, man, I hate those guys. Oh man, we all work together. I have a podcast. You guys have a podcast. Let's get together and enjoy the best of both worlds. It's like beers. They all collab with each other. Like you get a hot sauce bottle. It's like, oh, these guys, and these guys made this awesome sauce.
Yeah.
And we got guys coming down from Canada, Ginger Goat hot sauce. They were featured on Hot Ones. Really cool. You guys have had Ginger Goat. We did last time. We tasted. That was, I think that was like a ginger based, like
I remember
literally
that one.
ginger based. We did Family Band last time, which was like the blueberry habanero one. I believe we had.
That one slapped.
Indeed.
Yeah, you like that one. You know what else you like? The White House Station one, where the collaboration
Yes.
with Conclave Brewing. White House Station's going to be there.
They
Yes, those are
reposted
good.
me saying that was fucking phenomenal. on
Yeah,
the wall.
yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh my god, people saw me do stuff.
Yeah, John, who owns White House, he's like, hey, you know these guys? I was like, yeah, I'm sitting right there with them. Yeah. It's pretty good.
That's me, right there.
He's like, oh, it's awesome. I'm like, thank you. But a lot of the companies that we tested here and really enjoyed will be there. So, I mean, if you guys have that footage on hand to show like us tasting it and stuff like that, it just could, you know, blossom into some cool relationships. And I find the hot sauce community to be very welcoming to any kind of collaboration.
And it seems so cool. Like, I've always loved, excuse me, I've always
He's getting
loved
choked up, guys. It's a very
I am.
emotional
It's-
subject
it's
for Bob.
hot sauce.
Gets him right in the feels.
Hot
me
sauce
right
always
here.
gets them.
No, but like I remember growing up and my dad being really into hot sauces and trying all these different places and going to like hot sauce stores.
Right.
And you know, like him trying like the old like Dave's Total Insanity.
Oh, yeah.
And all those like
Yeah.
dipping in a toothpick and everything. He's just like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what is wrong with you? That's the hottest thing I've ever had. He's just like,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Yep.
But like doing that, I remember him and my dad and one of my friends from high school would just do shots of hot sauce. And they'd go head to
Shot
head,
sauce.
one after one.
Shot sauce.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like,
Market that.
y'all.
Now, see, the common misconception, they think that I'm like, I could have everything up to like Carolina Reaper and all that stuff. I'm not into the super, super hot stuff.
No.
I'm into the hot stuff that is like well balanced with flavor. Like that's why I brought the last group that I brought here with you guys. It was such an eclectic thing. You guys remember the one? It was by Spicy Shark. It was like a coconut and pineapple one. It was like a really tropical one, like a
I think it was
Scotch bonnet.
delicious.
Yeah, it was awesome. They're going to be there. They actually have now a spicy maple syrup and a spicy blueberry syrup.
Well, that's dangerous.
Dude, you want to know something that happened? I accidentally, it sounds really, it sounds terrible, but I like spilled blueberry hot sauce when I was making grilled cheese. And it was literally the best thing. Like I bumped it and it because I was doing,
Like that.
yeah,
Like
like that. I was trying to make a marinade for like a dinner the next day, and I had everything open, and like when I'm in the kitchen, there's just millions of things, shit
Whirlwind.
everywhere. Yeah, and I spilled like blueberry syrup, and it like went on the plate, and it went on the bread, and all that stuff. So I literally made a grilled cheese with that blueberry syrup on it, and I now eat grilled cheese with fruit preserves. Like
Grilled cheese is such a good vessel for any kind of sauce. Like, think of a sauce you wouldn't put on a grilled cheese.
I don't.
Hang on. I'll get
find one.
I'll get there.
But the point is, it's difficult, right? Like, you could put
Maybe
the
like
vast majority
duck
of
sauce.
sauces.
No, dude, duck sauce, man. I would make it with like imagine like a pepper steak grilled cheese with duck sauce.
What are
never
crab
mind.
rangoons if not just fancy grilled cheeses?
Isn't the
Ooh,
crab
that-
rangoon just cream cheese?
Yeah.
And
bread.
fake crab.
Fake crab and bread.
If it's a bad Chinese restaurant, it's fake crab. Dude, crab rangoons, I order them like no matter what.
So that being said, is crab rangoon a sandwich?
No, it's a little pocket
It's
of
a
love,
pocket.
dude.
It's
It's a
a
little
love-
No, it's more akin to a ravioli.
dude. It's
Yeah.
a little love muffin. That's a little hug right
If anything,
there.
it's a dumpling.
When you, yes, it's a crispy dumpling.
I think it's just a fried dumpling. They just-
crab rangoon grilled cheese. Okay.
I've had
We're in
crab
it.
grilled cheese before. It slaps.
Well, we might have to do that the next
You're
episode.
just getting closer and closer to a lobster roll, just with crab.
But like,
Yeah, but smashed in a panini press.
Yeah, but just
yeah,
fried
Dude,
first.
There's
that's what I'm
short-
saying. There's so much a grilled cheese goes with because it's so basic. It's like a key component that you would mix with most other things to make a good dish that you could just basically put whatever on a grilled cheese.
You know the secret I found to making, like, I posted a short rib, like caramelized onion
I saw that.
grilled cheese, and I'm kind of like doing a soft open to doing a YouTube channel. Like, I don't want to just open the gates with like an hour long podcast. I kind of want people to be introduced to a little bit of what the content's going to be based on. So I made that short rib grilled cheese. It was cheddar cheese, caramelized onions, and Wagyu short rib. And I took the video from Instagram and I posted it on a YouTube short. It's a very easy platform to do a short on YouTube. First comment: "That's not a grilled cheese; it's a melt." Shut the you know.
Oh my god.
You know what it is?
Those are the worst.
Your brain's a melt. Fuck off.
You mean melt? And my comment, he later says, "You mean melt?" And I wrote, my comment was, "Yes, the cheese did melt very nicely on the sandwich. Thank you for wondering." Or, you know what I mean? But it was just, whenever I don't know how to like pair a meal or like what direction to go to, I always have like some good semolina or some good sourdough or some kind of bread where I could be like, you know what? Not sure what kind of entree this is going to be. Grilled cheese, and that's it. And it always works. It never doesn't work. You guys are absolutely right. And the trick I found, little tiny bit of mayo on the outside of the bread before you grill it.
I do copious amounts of mayo, but I use different mayo.
You can do
I
that.
don't use American mayo. That's my secret.
Kewpie. What?
Russian mayo.
Russian mayo?
You got to go to like a net cost.
I love net cost. You know about net cost?
What's the next?
My wife is Russian, of course.
Dude, Bulbasaur evolved way too early in this episode. What the hell?
So My wife is Armenian, Ukrainian, Russian,
Yes.
whole nine.
Yeah.
Her whole family. I was introduced to Netcost through them, and I was like, so Netcost is like a ShopRite, but it's like a Russian ShopRite. So like everything you go is
Eastern
in another
European
language.
ShopRite.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's the best place.
So it's Russian Aldi.
Not Aldi.
No,
because
it's
higher
way
end.
more expensive than
Yeah,
Aldi.
way
So
Russian
Wegmans.
Russian Acme and Wegmans.
Yes, Russian Wegmans.
All right.
Russian Wegmans.
That's it.
That's exactly what Netcost is.
Yes.
I work with a couple guys that are, Eastern European, Moldovan, Russian, and all that stuff. Every once in a while, like we don't really communicate like crazy amounts of talking because their English is fine, but they're very conservative about how much they try to communicate with English because they're afraid that they're going to look silly or something like that. So every once in a while, you try this. I'm like, okay. Thanks. I guess I'll get that in the greatest fucking thing I've ever had in my life section in the grocery store. And the pastries I've learned about, different pastries.
Yeah.
There is a Russian dessert called chuk chuk. That's the name, chuk chuk. It is like, think of like Japanese fried noodles that you would get as like a condiment when you would buy Chinese food, soaked in honey, pressed into a brick.
That sounds very familiar. That sounds like oh god, what are they called in Italian? Fuck, it's a Christmas thing. We form it into wreaths. It's very, very similar.
I can't believe I've gone this many years without like having anything similar to that. You eat these foods that are just so common in that culture, and you're like, what the hell? I will never be able to make this in my kitchen.
So early on, my wife's mom bakes a lot.
Okay.
So she's just casually like, I made a cake. And I'm like, ah, cool, it's cake. Then I try it, just like mind-blowingly good cake.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh God, oh, I married her. This is going to be a problem. How am I supposed to not? and now her new thing is making bread. She makes bread. Turns out her bread is like phenomenal. So
What a conundrum to be a part of.
I started making bread.
Great.
And she got really excited and she started getting me all this stuff to make bread.
You're going to be sleeping on the couch. I told you sesame seeds.
So now I have all these, like, we make bread and I just make this loaf and I'm like, well, now what am I going to do? So I made like a cheese steak.
Right.
But I don't know if I brought it up on the podcast. When I was a kid, I had the best cheesesteak I've ever had. And it was literally a steak, not cut, not sliced. It was a cheesesteak.
Yeah.
But it was so tender you could just bite it. And you could
Yeah,
just,
if you make it right, it just pulls
right.
apart
But you
anyhow,
never
yeah.
get that like in a restaurant. So I was like,
No.
all right, it's been, I don't remember how long. I'm gonna try to fucking make this. So I went and I bought like a USDA Prime
Yeah.
steak, sous vide it, so that it was super. Hit it with the flamethrower to get that crisp.
You gave that baby a bath.
And I used half a loaf of bread.
Oh my God.
It was like 7 slices of cheese, Cheese Whiz,
Keep in mind,
onion.
he did this about an hour before we were supposed to play D&D. So by the time we got here to play,
He was out.
basically comatose.
He was out.
So my friend Phil walked through the door, and the bread I had flour on the top because you gotta hit it with that. Gotta hit it with that flour
It's
on
an
top.
ingredient of
You
bread.
got a little poof.
So I'm like right on the island, right there, just in my chair with the fucking sandwich. It was like this fucking big, and my friend Phil walks through the door, and I was like, "I am sorry for what you are about to witness." And he goes, "What?" And I was like, and and he turns the corner, and I look like fucking Al Pacino, but just flour and like cheese in my beard, and just like you just hear like the bite, the chew, and then, oh yeah.
Did you share?
No. I ate the whole fucking thing. Didn't even last 3 minutes, dude.
Dude, that is so funny. You literally took steak sandwich to the most literal level.
Yeah, I wanted to recreate a thing
I'm
that
proud
I had.
of you. I think that's a great story.
Dude, it was the best. It was so good.
Was it a ribeye you said?
It was it was not a skirt. Strip.
New York strip?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did USDA Prime strip because strips are tender.
Going back to cakes, right? So I was, we got invited to friend's house for St. Patrick's Day parade last weekend, but they canceled the parade. So they're like, "You still want to get together?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." We carved out the night. Let's do it. I said, "What do you guys want us to bring?" They're like, do you want to get a dessert, or like you want to make a dessert? You want to do whatever? I was like, you know what? I have never one thing I've never done was bake a cake from scratch.
Really?
So I was like, I've learned, there's like, you always see those posts, it's like how to turn a box cake into a bakery cake. I'm like, well, I don't want to use a box cake. What are they talking about with the bakery cake? And I literally did, like, I'm ashamed to say, hours of looking into what makes a good cake. Because, you know, if you cook daily, you understand the difference between oils, the difference between salts, fats, acids, everything. Like it's chemistry. So I was like, all right, this recipe does this recipe does this recipe does this. 4 different carrot cake recipes, and I took the best of both worlds. I put a little pineapple in there so that it had a little moisture in the cake. Instead of using oil, so it called for a half a cup of vegetable oil. Now I am
That's
not
like brownie levels of oil.
well, yeah, but it was a big cake. It was a 3-layer cake, so it was a decent recipe.
Damn.
I'm not a vegetable oil person. Like, I like to be as natural as I can when it comes to oils. And contrary to popular belief, vegetable oil is not a very natural thing.
Really?
No, it takes way too much refinement, and it's just not.
I don't know anything about
It's too much chemistry to get oil out of a pepper, bro. Like, it's just too much.
Gotcha. I thought you just squeeze it really hard and take what drips out.
So
You know how many peppers?
Like, that's what I'm saying, though. The amount
It's very
of refinement-
wasteful.
It is wasteful too. The process of vegetable, it's just wasteful. I'm not a canola oil, but, you know, just like no. I'm a big proponent of animal fats. I think animal fats are villainized by the big oil companies now, and there's so much benefit to using animal fats. You get so much energy from it. People that are on keto rely on it. And I took
I remember that grind.
the half cup of oil, or whatever denomination of cup the oil was. I did half of that as butter and the other half of that as pure lard, which is, I mean,
That's a baking
dude,
thing.
our grandparents lived on lard, and they lived belong to.
What is lard?
Lard is just pig fat.
Oh.
So there's an external pig fat, which is like on the outside, like when you cut a steak, the outside fat. And then there is what's called leaf lard, which is the internal fat. So both have a different flavor profile. Like traditional lard has like a deep, rich flavor, whereas leaf lard is more of a pure oil taste. So I did pure lard and butter in place of the oil. I added pineapple to the recipe to give it a little bit more moisture. And I baked it for 2 more minutes than the recipe called for, because I prefer a cake with a nice little caramelization on the outside and
A little more crisp.
I busted out the KitchenAid for the first time. I used my KitchenAid. I have a super, super old KitchenAid where it still says Hobart on the side. It's like shout out KitchenAid nerds. I made the icing from scratch. I found a recipe for the cream cheese icing where you literally take butter and melt it in a skillet until it just starts to burn and shut it off, put it in a container, and put it in your freezer. And it locks in that like nutty flavor of burned butter.
Huh.
So I made this cake, right? And I literally was like it was like I was treating it like a child. I was like, oh God, oh no, you're okay, you know, like trying to ice this thing and get it cooked. I was so happy, like the amount of fulfillment and joy I got to make it. I almost like didn't want to eat it.
God, I wish I had that making food.
So
anytime I try to cook, it's all just cursing and anger.
Well, that's okay, because it's not your thing, and to embrace something that's not your thing is somewhat of an uphill battle. So you're probably just eating to live, and you're probably tapped into the troglodytes of past.
I'm very lucky.
We get it.
Yeah. I'm very lucky that my wife likes
Didn't
cooking.
mean that to be mean.
No, seriously, I straight up go.
drag her. Get out of here with your.
I
sandwich.
straight up go full on like caveman anger. you know when you're mad and you don't know why, and you're still mad and you can't not be mad.
God
That's just
damn it! I'm eating pretzels.
It's just monkey brain. Like it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
some
yeah.
instinctual part of me is like, you're angry now, and the rest of me is like, yeah, all right, I guess that's happening.
So what you probably go through is you probably want to be able to cook better food, but you understand the time that goes into it, and you're more of a necessity-driven person.
Here's the problem.
Is that
Whenever
right?
I've tried to cook, it's
Okay.
come out amazing. I have no excuse not to cook. I've made stupid mistakes like accidentally boiling water too long and forgetting
if
about
the first
it.
ingredient's confidence, I think you're right there.
So I have decades of family recipes with
Yeah.
very clear written instructions and
Right,
two
right.
friends who are outstanding at cooking and a wife who's outstanding at cooking.
Yeah.
I like with them kind of giving me advice over text or
Right.
watching what I'm doing, it's impossible for me to fuck up. Left to my own devices, don't even get me started.
That speaks to the chat.
But
D-Dubs in the chat said, made sausage gravy this morning and didn't call Joe. W.
wow,
Proud of you.
good job, buddy.
So proud.
But I have like my mom's meatball recipe that she's been making my whole life.
Right.
And I made it one time for Joe and Elena and Allie, and it came out fucking phenomenal.
Is there a special part of that meatball recipe? Not to interrupt, but
Super secret.
All right.
No, I'll tell you about it later. I just don't remember it right now.
bro.
It's actually because I can't remember it. I have to keep it like all the instructions written on my phone.
Don't say that part when you say, I'll tell you later. I'll tell you say it's a secret and leave it at that. Not, I forgot.
Redacted.
It's a super secret.
I know
on
somebody
this
that
paper.
puts raisins in their meatballs. And
Really?
dude, no. Before,
Wait, but like regular meatballs or like sauce meatballs?
like meatballs. They're salt. Yeah,
Those
yes.
are two different meatballs.
But dude,
What?
Hear me out. You cut the
Meatballs.
raisins provide. So when you cook with raisins, they reconstitute moisture.
Yes.
And although yes, a grape is sweet, a raisin is sweet. It's the perfect tangy sweetness. And I made meatballs with raisins in them one time. Unbelievable. It just doesn't sound like it would make sense. But
My
shout out to Betsy for
my
making
family secret is soggy bread,
in the meatballs or just soggy bread.
milk bread.
just soggy
You-
bread.
We have
you
a
soak-
specialty. It's
you soak-
soaking right now.
You soak white bread,
Okay.
like loaf white bread,
Yeah.
in milk,
Really?
and then tear that up and shove it in the meatballs, and then enjoy the deliciousness that comes.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait. Let's go down the meatball rabbit hole, which is a sentence I don't think I've ever thought I'd say. That probably adds more of a meatloafy flavor consistency. Sorry about
Not-
whatever that
not-
noise was. Sorry.
Not exactly meatloafy, but it adds moisture to the inside.
Yeah, that's
of
key.
what would be a dry meatball.
That's key to meatballs, any kind of meat, pate, the proper amount of moisture. It's a science.
Plus, you get that little bit of bread when you're chewing, and you get that oh, that's delicious. It's
like
the
everybody's
bread
like-
soaks up a little bit of the meat fat, and then the milk goes into the meat. So it's just like a happiness
Trust me,
thing going
dude,
on.
you do not have to sell me on sopping up the grease, bro. You're preaching to the choir, son. It's so funny because everybody's like, man, everybody's grandma, like they cook the best. Grandmas cook the best. Yeah, because they've had 80 years of trial and error.
Yeah.
Listen to them.
So the last 2 weeks, the reason we haven't had a podcast in a couple weeks and we've been live streaming is because my grandma was staying here for a couple weeks.
Which we should have done an episode.
So I asked if she wanted to, but she wasn't feeling it. She's 98.
Well, at that point, you don't really ask. Say sit down, we're going to talk.
So
Grandma's sitting in front of the camera right now.
Do you want your pudding?
for the last 2 weeks, we've been cooking just food, just Italian food, whatever she wanted. She's like, I'll show you how to
Unreal.
make this. I'll show you how to make that.
You'll cherish
And
that
I'm like-
forever. Let
and
me,
I'm like,
let me tell you forever, you will cherish that.
Yeah, but I also gained like 9 pounds in like 2 weeks. It was impressive.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good reason to do it, though.
So I have like a half-liter thing of olive oil
Okay.
that I just filled when my grandma got here.
Don't make
Actually,
me
it was
do
one.
math. I don't
It was
know
one
what a liter
weekend.
is.
We filled it.
Okay.
2 of these cans
All right.
filled
Wow.
Now that's American.
in. That's American math.
That is American math.
3 freedoms per
3
F-22
liters?
Raptor.
Nah, 2 beer cans. Oh, okay.
2 pounders, idiot.
But I love how we're both like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
All right. Oh, shit.
So it was 2 days. I filled it. I went to work. I
Yeah.
came home from work. It was empty. I was like, what did we eat?
Where is it?
My wife goes, we made 2 vegetable meals. I was like, was it oil?
And it's gone.
Gone. Used the whole damn thing.
See, like, that's, like, I know last episode we touched on it, but, like, literally the whole entire reason I'm in, like, to food the level I am is for cooking with my grandfather. Like, that is exactly why I keep doing what I'm doing. That is exactly why I got into what I'm doing. You'll cherish his memories forever.
I love it. So I got my grandma a house phone while she was here. So
A house?
a house phone, like a landline.
You
So she
live
didn't
over
have to
there. I
use-
got you a house.
So she didn't have to use my cell phone. So I got her the landline. And I was like, wow, I feel like I'm fucking old now.
That's pretty cool.
And I got mail today. In my mailbox, it was like, do you need to go over your will? And I'm like, wow, they didn't sell that information. or
Jesus.
anything. So I was like, yeah, all right.
Ugh.
That checks out. The old people are probably the only people buying landlines now.
That's like
But-
that's part of the evolution of grandparents being in your life. You have that discussion. It's like, shit, man,
Yeah.
we really got to talk about that.
So I give her the phone. She's doing her thing. And then she's calling her friend. She's calling her sister, her, aunts and whatever. And she was like, how are they doing? How are you doing here? Blah, blah. She's like, oh, it's so good. Joe's so good at cooking. All of his food's delicious. And I'm in the background just like, yes, fucking, wow.
Dude, a compliment from a 90-year-old grandmother that's Italian to say that her grandson's food is good.
I was like, that's it. I made
You're
it.
on top of the mountain that day, dude.
Yeah. My wife was like, great, your fucking ego is just like.
You'll be looking uphill at that moment for the rest of your life, brother. That's awesome. So to wrap up the Boston hot sauce thing, I wanted to ask you guys on your podcast here.
Mm-hmm.
So what they've done to bring it full circle back to the so we don't get too far away from it. So I'm going to be judging the Boston Hot Sauce Festival, and the way that that's going to go down is we're going to do like almost like a blind test where each company submits their entries to the person running the Hot Sauce Festival is John from White House Station, and he is going to have me and one other gentleman testing all of the hot sauces blindly. We thought, let's do it live. Let's do it through video. Would you like to see if your tabletop guys would like to host that blind taste test?
That would be
Incredible.
And we would be able to capture our genuine reactions, our genuine feelings about each hot sauce. So, down the road, we can, submit that to the different companies and stuff like that. So we came up with a couple of awards. Best green sauce is, I thought it would be cool to call it the Green Monster because, Boston, the
Boston,
Green Monster.
yeah.
Park, yep.
And because usually with these hot sauce festivals, you got first, second place, runner up. Like, all right, cool. I'm in T-ball again.
Are we handing out trophies that are 3 inches tall?
Exactly, yeah.
They're peppers.
Oh, you got ice cream. Like nowadays, it's everybody. Did you get ice cream? Yeah, I got ice cream. Did you win? No, we lost by 100 points. But anyway, so the other award I thought of was the best hot sauce that you could see on a hot dog. Because I remember last time I was here, one of you guys had said, I can't remember if it was you or you.
If it was a hot dog comment, it was likely Joe.
You said you before you die, and we can make this happen too. I want to do this. I want to do this because I went back and re-listened to the episode to kind of prepare myself for the way that the conversation flows, just in preparation for doing tonight. And you said you want to take a traditional dirty water dog, the way that a dirty water dog is cooked,
Right.
take it out of the dirty water, and then grill that hot dog.
Yes.
That inspired me to think of a hot sauce for that would go best with a hot dog. So we're going to call it the Fenway Fire Award. And
Nice.
We're going to make a little hot dog, whatever the trophy, the design is. But the other one is the Wicked Pisso Award, which John thought of and came up with. And I have...
The
yes.
Bruins are from Boston too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You could do another one
All right.
for the most intense heat hot sauce and
Okay.
call it Bruin My Asshole.
That would be great to have on a trophy.
And it's just a chocolate starfish. That's the trophy.
That's it. It's just an actual starfish.
I'll run it by corporate. We'll see how that's a good one.
That could be the dumbest
Why
thing
don't
I've ever suggested.
Why don't I reach out to the powers that be and see if that could be an award that you guys could give?
Hey, listen, I got a laser cutter. I'll put that shit on a plaque.
All right. Yeah, there you go. Spoken like a true warrior. I'll put that shit on a plaque.
We have been uninvited to
We
the
have-
Boston Hot Sauce Festival.
Oh, this just in.
That's And my choice for best in show is going to get the Sizzlin' Skillet Award. It's going to be a gold-plated skillet trophy that I'm making to give to what I think is the best hot sauce in show, regardless of classification of sauce, whether it's a green sauce or a Fenway Fire, whatever I think is the best hot sauce, they will get that award, and they'll win a nice. I'm going to give them a nice skillet to cook with, plus the trophy. So
That's so cool.
I'm just glad that you guys are going to be able to come, and I think it was really cool when you guys messaged me and said, "Hey, we got the Airbnb." I was like, "Son of a bitch, you're going to have a good time here." Whatever way we do things, and this is all new to me as well. Like to be, welcomed on as the judge of this thing, and to, we're going to be shooting Podcast Iron there, my podcast with my brother. It's more of a cast iron history show, but we are very glad to talk about anything food. And like I said, it's all communal. We can get together, we can make everything great and cohesive.
It ended up being hilarious the way it all worked out, because you're like, oh, I'm going to a thing. It's a festival. I was like, oh man, we should totally go to that. It'd be really cool. Like, we'll book a room. And then I look on the website and I was like, scroll. Oh, he's judging. That makes so much more sense. I mean, I still want to go. I didn't know that when I said
know you
it.
guys like hot sauce. You guys enjoyed that, dude. I've done hot sauce things with a lot of people. Like, podcasts of years past, we did hot sauce things, and I used to make these super hot jams that people love to have, and I would give them to all different podcasts. But when I brought those hot sauces for you guys to try on Fritos, because me and Bob couldn't find tortilla chips,
There's like a tortilla shortage.
I genuinely
That should be one of the
felt
fucking trophies.
tortilla shortage.
The Frito.
The golden Frito.
Golden Frito.
Oh, I'd have to make a big paper mache Frito.
D-Dubs in
have
chat
3D
goes,
printers.
woo tabletop taste.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
But I just felt this genuine like joy from you guys when we were tasting these hot sauces, and you were touching on notes of stuff that you have very well seasoned palates. So I was like, these guys, I would like you guys to come. So I'm very happy that you guys are deciding to come, and I'm
Definitely.
I was very happy you told us about
Yeah,
it.
before we even knew you were going, I was like, yeah, we should definitely go. And everyone's like, yeah, we should go.
They were like, you want to go to Boston on the 29th and 30th for a hot sauce festival? And I was like, I'm ready to be there. What?
yeah, that worked out perfectly with you, by the way.
A work trip I get in on the 30th. I was like,
Fucking clairvoyant ass.
train,
Yeah, right.
train up 2
I'll
days.
be there already, guys.
yeah, that kind of just ended up working out. And then I noticed you were a judge, and I was like, oh, well, yeah, I still really want to go, but now I want to go more.
And it's awesome you guys are going up Friday, because I'm going to try and coordinate with one of the local breweries. There's a brewery there called Trillium in Boston. One of my favorite breweries. Like, I've tried so hard over the years to trade for beer from them because they had such limited releases. I'm a very big porter and stout fan, and they had peanut butter and chocolate porter, like just
I feel like I've
award-winning
heard of them before.
tiramisu level.
That's
like,
my love hate. I love peanut butter stuff, and so I always try the porters and stouts, but I hate stouts. So I'm always like, yes, peanut butter. This is the one. And then I try it, and I'm like, it's not the one.
I don't know what the difference is.
I think it's funny because people
Porters
always
are like
say-
the heavy coffee beers, like the really, really dark beers are porters.
Oh, I
yeah,
definitely
very
don't like those.
very heavy beer, very chunky beer, but it's good.
Speaking of beer I like,
Chunky is
I
not.
got to hand it to you. I did actually enjoy that.
I brought that here. Yes, it's a St. Patrick's Day beer. Yes, St. Patrick's Day is this weekend. But I saw that beer and I said, this son bitch gonna like this one.
This is the one.
It doesn't give me the overwhelming hoppy taste.
You know what I think the key is with this beer? Why it actually works? It's because it's not
still some
super.
in there.
It's not crazy alcohol level. It's like a 6.5% or something. Whatever it says, 6.6 or
Yeah.
whatever. That's not too much. And
Yeah, it's not.
sometimes when these beers go over, head over heels with the amount of alcohol that's in it, it kind of overpowers a lot of the subtle notes that
And you
can
get that
from something.
yeah,
kind
kind
of
of taste with
mouthfeel.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked
Where
about
you
that
want-
last time.
Where you want water while you're drinking in between beers.
Absolutely. So yeah, I got some other stuff here. Let's see what else I got.
I would say you bought a goodie bag, but you bought more of a goodie box.
Yeah,
I
goodie
did.
box.
I brought a habanero pineapple beer. I want you guys to try because of the
Interesting.
Okay.
spicy.
Yeah.
Like, we
Hot
get
sauce things make sense, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I brought you guys some stickers. Got some cool stickers made. Just wanted you guys to have
yes.
them. I took the Black Flag logo.
Stickers.
Made cast iron.
Nice.
And then
Fucking love that.
this is
Come forever.
soap does not belong on cast iron. It's just a straightforward message.
That checks out. I'll put it.
down?
Yes.
I'll put it right next to my kitchen.
Right under the window.
So I had. Oh, maybe my wife finally put it away. I acquired one of the employees must wash hands,
I love that.
and I had it just in
Yes.
front of my sink.
I remember that from last time I was here. It was right. Yeah, that's
It's around here somewhere.
yeah, yeah.
We have
I
a
love
friend
it.
who shall remain nameless that sometimes just walks in and goes, "I got this for you," and throws down something he clearly should not have. Typically, like those employees must
I
wash
stole
hands.
this, yeah.
I was out for my birthday. We're finally leaving the birthday, and he goes, "Hey, I got this for you. Open up your car." And I was like, "What?"
Open up your car.
A friend of mine did that with a parking meter.
What?
It was on the ground.
Everybody be quiet. Tell the story.
So
Sorry.
we just got out of college, and it was a couple friends were walking through.
Got out. 3:00. Graduated?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. That's a better word.
Post college, a couple friends walking through a town that has a lot of parking meters, and there was one just laying on the ground, just laying there.
That's fair.
We're talking
game.
like
There was a brand new one in its place, and it was just laying down. I guess they're removing them and replacing them.
You know, some city worker looked at his work order and it says, well, that says to install a new parking meter. It doesn't say have to
clean
remove
up-
the old one.
You are so spot on with that. That is because
that is the other guy's job.
funny enough, in complete parallel of that story, when we went to the Philadelphia Flower Show over the weekend, there was a fire hydrant in downtown Philly. I'm talking where the convention center is. There was a fire hydrant laying on the ground with a new fire hydrant put where the old one was.
Did it have
And
like
I
the
thought-
15 feet of tube under it?
No,
Oh.
it literally went on the main. Like they just like unbolted it and capped it back on the main right there. And I was thinking to myself, Jesus Christ! Not only is the main water source off right now, you could tell that it's not pressurized because it's not bolted up. Because the new one's sitting there, and then the old one's laying on the ground. So if there's a fire in the fucking plant center,
Well,
I thought in my head that was somebody that was not given clear instructions, or they just don't care. Which I think is the latter, but that's okay.
Someone will remove this fire
It's the
hydrant.
same thing.
but a
Absolutely.
couple of friends walking through undisclosed town, and it was just laying on the ground. So we go and do our thing. We come back. It was still on the ground.
And he took it.
Took it up. Took the long way back to the car. It's now in my buddy's living room.
So are we
Unreal.
talking like the 5.5 foot? Oh, yep.
Straight up
Yes, it is.
parking meter. Oh,
God,
As
well,
I-
don't throw it at me.
throw
There's a
everything.
goddamn
oh my God.
That's awesome.
So it is now, and apparently there are coins in it.
They should use it for beers.
So
I
it
was just gonna say, does any
just like jingles.
do you have it?
My buddy has it.
Did he please? And if he does not, I'm gonna smack him with it. Did he use a hole digger to put a hole in his front yard for when people come by and you're like, yo, you fucking paying for parking or your shit gonna get towed?
So he lives in a condo right now.
That's even better.
I like that Joe said hole digger. You mean a shovel, son, or you mean
No.
a post hole digger? What are we
Post hole digger.
All right.
A hole digger.
A hole digger. Well, along
Aren't we all just hole diggers?
that's dude, we are really just shoveling away here, aren't we? So alongside with your stickers, I wanted to give you guys each. I got some custom pot holders made, and I brought an
Is that Felix the cat?
odd amount of them. No, it is not Felix the cat.
Got it. It's
It's the cast iron. It's cat iron cat.
Yo, cat iron,
iron cat.
dude! Oh my gosh, Bob. So I got season or die. You guys can pick
Yes.
which ones you want. And we got no time for soapy skillets.
Oh, that's
I
fantastic.
love that.
I'm on a heavy push right now for the argument of using soap on cast iron, and I
Well,
think
isn't
I'm
it like
being,
real bad?
Well, it's not. It's based on the conversation we had last time. Understanding that cast iron's porous, it'll take molecular stuff in the pores. Blah blah blah. My whole standpoint is that it wastes water. So when you heat something up over 163, 165 degrees, you kill all pathogens, all germs, all viruses. So if you heat your skillet up after you're done wiping it out, you don't need to use 5 to 7 gallons of water every time you use
also
the
makes
skillet.
sense.
So because I'm very like my family's all farming background and like Tennessee Great Depression on my mom's side, like. Water conservation is huge for me. I find it to be incredibly important, whether you're getting it from the ground in a well or you're getting it from your city, blah, blah, blah. The average person uses 5 to 7 gallons of water every time they clean a skillet with soap unnecessarily. So if you heat it up, you can save water. It's 1,500 to 2,000 gallons a year per person. Times that by just your street. Then
Don't you
your
also
neighborhood,
not have to
then your
reseason it?
town.
I don't
Exactly. Absolutely.
I don't think people realize just how quick society would break down if water companies stopped pumping.
Not even that. If every single person decided to waste an extra gallon or two per day, per household, what that could actually do to the quote unquote, for lack of a better term, the grid of water.
Yeah.
It would be you think about like your average above ground pool is like 10 to 15,000 gallons.
Yep.
That's like just your street if they fuck around and wash stuff unnecessarily.
Yeah.
So my standpoint on soap is not a right or wrong, because if it's good for you and you want to do it, I'm not here to tell you not to. But I am here to tell you that it is wasteful. Whether or not you take it to heart and implement that into your daily life, it's fine. But
I always thought it was not from the water aspect, but from the oil and seasoning aspect.
well, there's
if I
also
wash my pan
a
with
dumb
soap-
element to it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I washed it. Great. Now I need to get to heat it up, put it in the oven, use a pint of oil again,
Right.
wipe it down, heat it up again.
And you have to do that if you use soap.
right.
You know what I do when I make bacon in my skillet? I hit it with steel wool and wipe it out, put it on the stove until it smokes, shut it off, and go watch football.
I don't even do that with mine. I got it smooth enough that I just
Yeah, just wipe it out.
I hit it with hot water,
Yeah.
just steams up, wipe it down, good to go.
Now imagine if you had a hot soapy mess, how much water you'd have to use to get it to
Right.
have no soap on it. That's where I'm coming from. So
Yeah.
working on an article wherever we're going to shop that. We'll get to that down the road. But anyway, you guys have some pot holders or canvas, take a lot of heat. No time for soapy
fantastic.
skillets, and we got season or die.
Love
So
that.
You guys can
Love that.
I gave an even amount so you guys can make it awkward. Like there's only one skull one.
Who's gonna get it?
So that's that. The other thing I brought was an IPA, and we're going to do infinity cups if you want. Are you ready for an IPA, or what do you think?
What's an infinity cup?
An infinity cup is you don't wash the cup out, you just
Yeah.
keep drinking beer.
Gotcha.
Are we doing the pineapple?
Yeah,
Is that the IPA?
I'd actually like you guys to try this one.
All right.
And Bob, you three can. Well, if Bob,
Bob has to
Oh
kill
yeah.
his.
Sorry. Let me kill mine.
because I just brought a regular generic IPA just to sip on while you guys are going at that,
I smelled that immediately.
Yeah.
dude.
Like
This
you
is-
didn't even finish popping the cap, and I smelled that.
Unbelievably underrated flavor profile, habanero and pineapple.
I as a kid never really got into pineapple.
As a kid, I never really liked pineapple beer.
I know, it's weird.
This is Aslan, by the way. This is not a run-of-the-mill IPA. It's a very good IPA, but I wanted you guys to sip and share that. So
So it's weird now because it smells like pineapple and delicious.
There's green,
but then also minty.
yeah, you'll get it. Just
So I'm gonna stir in the mint.
don't sommelier that.
No, I'm
shit.
doing it. I'm
There you go.
stirring it in.
I do not like this.
All right.
This goes back to just tasting like beer to me. Like
That's way smoother than normal beer.
Dude, it's way smoother than normal beer.
I'm not feeling the habanero.
That's Icarus.
it
That
comes
is
in a little after.
those suckers will make some. Those guys make some good beer. Icarus does. That is very good beer. Icarus makes some of the best beer I've ever had
is
in my
very
life.
for an IPA.
Bob's
'cause
figuring it out. What
Those
do you
aren't usually my favorite. I just instead of the aftertaste I think I was supposed to get, just got vanilla. Sounds weird.
But the spiciness isn't like crazy.
I don't even taste
it's
it.
just there a little bit.
There it is.
It's very at the end.
I got nothing.
Really?
I have it now.
It's very subtle though.
Like once you let that IPA, like you know the IPA dryness, for lack of a better phrase.
Yeah.
The habanero's in that. I get a very fruit forward taste. Like the first thing I like when it touched my tongue,
Yeah.
I got the pineapple.
Now imagine if you were cooking, like say, like I'm a big fan of sweet salsas. Like I like the sweet, salty salsa thing. I would do
Mango
like
salsa.
mango, pineapple, and a little bit of like green onions soaked in this stuff like overnight, and then make my salsa after.
That would be delicious.
Here we go.
I got a thing here.
You can call your grandma.
No. My grandma doesn't like spicy. Oh, I'm. It's like very, very, very subtle with the heat. This would be fantastic for a beer cheese dip.
Hot damn. Man, when you get something, you get it, boy.
Because you get a little bit of that pineapple, but you get that little bit of.
I'm almost pissed I brought this here. That was my last one. I could have made some good beer cheese. Sorry. No, I don't. Regret.
Damn.
No regrets.
Seal that container. I
Damn.
got something to cook later.
That's a good idea. I love, dude.
There's
I like
still
making beer
there's still a little
cheese
bit in here.
dip. It's very easy.
You can do a little bit.
little bit.
A little bit, you know.
No, that's good. I was so challenged by you saying, "Man, I never had beer I liked." Well, game on, son. We got you.
You got me
did
on
get
that
you with
one.
the Shamrock
Lost
Shake.
me on this one.
All right. Well, you could still drink it. And,
I'm gonna.
well, if you
I don't want to waste it.
if you don't finish your dinner, you have it for breakfast. That's the rule in this house.
I've done that before with whiskey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not good.
I mean,
Well,
Do
hair
you
of the dog.
do you
you know.
do an infinity? So you understand the concept of infinity. Do you do an infinity bottle with your whiskey? Do you know what that is? Like where they take like you have one empty whatever empty vessel you have. if
yeah,
it's
I
Blanton
never
or-
got behind that.
I-
Not with whiskey,
Okay.
but that's because I don't drink whiskey that often
Or
at
bourbon.
all.
I mean,
So
I
I
think I'm
thought
going to
I
bring Eagle Rare
thought
to the
about
Boston Hot
doing
Sauce
it.
Festival. By the way, if you're a bourbon guy, I'm going to bring a bottle of Eagle
I'm
Rare, I
usually
think.
not. So that thing starts to dim around 9, and then it'll turn off at 10.
All right. Just making sure you're not blowing the grid out.
No, we're good.
For those watching and listening, the lights on the herb garden dimmed.
Yeah, we just took a hit there, boys. We're all right.
That's my facilities eye from working in data centers for so long.
Yeah.
Anytime the lights blink, I'm like, are the gens running?
We lost 0.5 lumens.
Sorry.
I always do that, and I'm like, are we off the air? Shit.
You know, I had the unfortunate circumstance. One of the data centers I worked at was directly under a flight path for Newark Airport. So the lights wouldn't go out, but an airplane would fly in between the sun and us.
Right.
And you'd watch every guy in the data center go, oh, the lights are still on.
See, I like how we're all different. You think the radio's out. You think a generator, and then I'm just like, no, I don't hear any UPS beeps. We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
We hear the UPS beeps for like 5 seconds, and then we hear,
We have a very much smaller version of that in our building.
and yesterday we heard bang, clang, 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 clang.
What was that?
We had a 2 meg generator blow a piston rod through the block. It was intense.
It's about 2 cans.
Jesus.
Legit. This
1 liter piston rod.
piston rod the size of my forearm came out of the side of that generator.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I've seen cars at the races, like dirt modified spot, throw a rod at the races, and it's like unbelievable amount of force. Like see a hole blown through an engine block. You're like, oh god,
It's like, how did? Oh
unbelievable.
my!
So you gonna finish the race?
Exactly.
I'll just show you the picture now so you can get the context of look at the guy's fingers on the right side to get the size of that piston rod.
Oh my god. No one died?
No. They're in
Hashtag that's what she
fully
said?
sound insulated enclosures. Like they're in there typically to take load
Dude,
readings,
that is
but
bent like all
Hashtag
the
that's
way
what she
to
said?
the left.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
that's a bad hat. It's all bent all the way to the left.
and that's brand new.
Someone
We
clip that.
installed that like 3 months ago.
That is definitely what she said.
That whole conversation.
And Jonah are
we
just like,
gotta stop. There we go.
You keep going. Me and Bob are just
And
like,
that's what she said.
that one and that one. Definitely that one.
Clip.
Well, mission
boy.
accomplished. Mission accomplished.
This is getting a little bit spicier as I'm drinking it.
There
Up
you go.
front, I had nothing.
Right.
But
a
now I'm
developed-
starting to taste it,
It's
yeah.
it's a cult. It's
It's still really
cultivated.
smooth though.
It's good. Dude, it's Icarus. They're the best.
Yeah.
Looking
One
at
of the
those,
best breweries.
Sorry, looking at those pot holders, whoever embroidered those for you did a really good job. Those look sick as hell.
Dude, fashionably twisted. Dude, this. I think that's yeah. I literally said, "Here's my idea. I don't know embroidery terms. I don't know fonts. Like I know Times New Roman and whatever the other one is."
Yes, whatever the other one is. Great
Yeah,
font.
and
Arial.
she has a building set up
Comic
at
Sans.
the New Egypt Flea Market,
Okay.
and I said, "Hey, you want to try and make some of these potholders for me?" And she's like, "Yeah, send me a couple designs." I sent her 3 designs. I was like, "Yeah, whatever one you think's easy." She's like, "I can do all 3." I'm like, "All right, let me get a sample of each one." And she made it. I was like, "This is really tight. Like this is really well done. Like it's nice. Like it. The thing I wanted to focus on was Felix being like, "Not here, bitch." Like you know what I mean? No, so-
It's cat iron Kyle.
cast.
yeah. It's Felix.
I've got a decent idea for you. If you wanted to also incorporate that, you should do an oven mitt with a big middle finger, like foam finger sticking out of it, and then just have it down the middle finger.
Embroider the middle finger on
no
the-
soap on cast iron.
Oh, dude. Death before the dishwasher, bro. That's
Hell yeah, that one's even cooler.
That's a good one. Oh, see, I'm like, you're when you have a platform this like I have the Instagram to sell these things. Like my gears are always turning. What's the next product? What's the next thing? Like I always have to try to get one step ahead of myself because if you let yourself just
Coast.
drift off,
Yeah.
you'll fall behind.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm always at a standpoint where I could say that's a good idea, but let's think about this for another day, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, bitch, I got a better one.
Yeah,
And that's it's like outsmarting yourself.
Yeah, and this is why I love doing collaborations with other people who have other things.
Right.
Like we started this podcast to share not only our hobbies but other hobbies that other people have.
Right.
And when we collaborate like this, it could just be one quick sentence, and boom, like Bronson just came up with the with the
Middle finger
the
oven
middle
mitts.
finger oven mitts.
Yeah.
Joe with the beer cheese. Like it's just things that like that just hit.
Yeah.
And this is what we created this podcast for. Like just to learn about other people's hobbies,
Right.
share ideas, and just kind of work together and have that togetherness.
Well, you never know. The main thing I've learned, like through doing this business on Instagram, which is a weird place to do business in and of itself, you never know where you're going to get your next idea. Like, so to you have no idea what that person's going to bring to the podcast. They could say something, one thing, and it just spurs a whole idea. You write it down, you forget what that means, and then it makes a whole new. You know what I mean? But to give a proper plug to the woman who made those for me, Instagram is Fashionably Twisted. Robin Friedman, she is at Building 43 of the New Egypt Flea Market Village.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
She did a good job. Gave me it's really cool to do business with people that understand that you need to make money on things because then they kind of figure out a wholesale number for you that makes sense. So many people try to maximize their profit, and that's a really good way to lose a client.
Yeah.
Like people don't understand now, like with what I'm doing with the cast iron, with the I don't know if you guys saw, but I'm like venturing into the restoration of these Japanese knives and stuff like that.
Oh, I saw, and I want to talk to you about those.
Well, we can dance, buddy. People that understand, that understand making money in volume is better than trying to maximize your profit on one item, and then that person's going to search elsewhere for a better price. I would rather, I tell all of my pickers, all the people that pick for me, I would rather make $20, 25 times than try to make 500 once.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, and consistently keep that $20 coming in from whatever sources they're coming from. So for her to say, well, I could do it for this much, but if you buy 100 of them, I could do it for this much, and then you'll be able to, at least make some money back. And
Right.
I do a lot.
yeah.
Like if I have a customer that does a decent order, like if they buy 2 or 3 skillets from me, I'll throw them a pot holder. I'll give them some stickers. I give them a steel wool or whatever. You know what I mean? I try to make it, worth their while to buy more than one thing from me, keep them as a customer, give them some love. So people that understand that element of business are always people worth keeping right here because they're going to understand what you're trying to do.
Right.
So she's not, well, I need, this is my price. That's my price. No matter if you buy 10 or if you buy 50. All right. Well, I'm not going to do business with you then.
Right.
So it's really cool to surround yourself with people that understand you need to have meat on the bones,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's people picking or creating products for you and, whatever else the universe throws at you.
There's there's an analogy I have to that. When I was in college, I used to fix iPhones, and the guy I worked for, Jordan, opened up a bunch of stands that fix iPhones, and over time he ended up closing the stands and becoming a parts distributor because he found that so many other people do that. He was making more money selling the parts that he got in to resell out of factories to all these companies that do that end of the business essentially for him.
He got out in front of himself pretty much.
Exactly.
That's
So
awesome.
and-
That is the evolution of business.
Oh yeah, and it's such a smart move.
Unbelievable good.
to break into distribution for really anything because you're only one person. You can only do so much work.
Right.
If you don't have the capacity to go places and sell things in person, but you have the capacity to distribute or make a wide volume.
Yes, if you
why
can't
not let
stretch
somebody
yourself that
else-
thin, you're kind of in your own way.
Yeah, why not
Yeah.
let somebody else do the sales end for you? That's a whole other job.
Right.
Companies have sales departments dedicated to that, isolated from their manufacturing departments because it's a whole separate skill set.
Yep.
If someone can sell better than you, sell to them to sell to other people.
Dude, okay. That is exactly where I kind of wanted to go tonight. I just liquidated almost 300 pieces of vintage glassware. You guys familiar with like vintage Pyrex, Corningware kind of thing? I knew that it has value. I know that I can get it cheap enough. But do I want to start a whole business venture of flipping glassware? No. But I know there is somebody out there that would create the time to be good at it. So I could supply them a wholesale number to then start their business.
Right.
So that just happened last week. Somebody, came down, met me in Flemington, in the parking lot of a Walmart, bought my whole entire line of glassware and Corningware. And rather than me selling the product, I knew that somebody that wanted to devote their time to glassware would be able. So I sold to them. That is exactly right.
Yep.
And that's like the Japanese knives. What I just got this DM one day on Instagram. The guy was like, "Hey, I got he was in Japan, so I got the DM in the middle of the night. I woke up to the DM. He said, "Hey, I do a lot of knife and equipment and restaurant machine and equipment sales, and people in Japan, I guess, don't use a knife more than a year. I guess I gathered from what he was translated, kind of broken-ish. Like
is it similar to like the American way, where once it gets dull, they don't realize they could like sharpen it better, so they just stop using it?
I think it's more like a traditional thought process. That's what I've gathered from what he was saying. But basically, he deals with brokering new equipment to kitchens, so he gets all the bulk old stock. And he's like, it seems like, this might be good for your customers. I was like, yeah, I'll try it out. Send me whatever different kinds, and there's different. I'm learning all the different kinds of Japanese knives, which they all have a special names. Yeah. And I see you guys correcting me. I see you. I know what you're saying, but I don't. If it's a a square blade knife, I'm just gonna call it that until I learn the right term. I don't need you to teach me. It's called a nikiri, I think, or nikiri, whatever. So he's like, yeah, let me wholesale you out a couple knives and see if you could work your magic on restoring them. And I bought this old belt sander. I bought this Black & Decker belt sander from the 70s, and you actually like hook a drill to it, and it's got this. I
saw that. I saw that.
Did you
reel.
see that
I
video?
saw that one. Yeah.
That was very often. Not very often do I make a reel and turn around and say that was very fulfilling. Like I got a lot out of that. That 30 seconds meant something to me.
Old tools are such a wild thing to get into because there was a turning point where they used to build things because they were like, if you buy this, you will never need to buy anything else forever.
Now shit's made to be replaced.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it that a company cannot make tools to last 50 years and understand the
because
marketing
it doesn't
behind that?
behoove them to do so.
You guys should see the equipment my dad uses. My dad owns a shoe repair business. He's the only one in downtown Trenton.
He's probably one of the only people in New Jersey, Bob.
Pretty much. The equipment he has is almost as old, if not older than him.
Unreal.
And he's still using all the equipment, all of his machines. He has the old machine that he replaced in his basement. He's got, 1.5 million stitchers.
We had this conversation.
It looks like a torture chamber walking into this place.
Dude, now imagine somebody comes in with a TikTok and just films his dad doing all of the antiquated
This
cobbler
is how you
method.
replace heels.
Dude, that there's so much value in that. Like what I do at my day job, I'm a machinist at my day job. The guy that did what I was doing was like 75 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like just to follow that guy around. Like I used to look at him like a puppy. Like, oh my gosh, are you machining the face on that? Oh my gosh, are you doing the OD on that? Like I was just so excited to see that. You don't know who you're going to inspire. Your dad should really hop on getting a TikTok.
Watching my dad do that was so cool as a kid. He has this machine called the Nibbler.
You told me about this. Tell them. Yes.
It's so when you put heels on a shoe, doesn't matter. Women's heels are a little bit different. It's always bigger than the actual heel.
That's what she said.
So you have to, loosen the rubber around the heel.
That is also what she said.
So it comes to this machine.
Rubber's the right size.
It's literally just a blade about the size of your finger. Well, that's what it does. It literally just goes.
Cool. This is
cool
as hell.
Oh, so it's like a tiny stapler.
It's a tiny guillotine.
And it's chopping the
and
leather off
chops
to
the
size.
leather off into little nubs. and you go around the heel. So it gives you like a rough outline of it. You take that over to a sander, and it sands it all down perfectly. My dad will then go in. He'll brush. He'll like polish both the heel of the shoe and the leather, the rubber itself, and makes it nice and smooth. It is the most satisfying machine ever, and that's one of the machines that I'm like I actually know how to use. Like he's got another like stitching machine that, you know, you literally put the shoe on and it goes through the inside of the shoe and like needles up through it, and you know we'll put the heel down like that. Like, so if you look at any dress shoes that you own and you see like the actual lacing underneath,
The cobbler's
That's
nibbler.
what it is.
Cobbler nibbler.
yeah,
That's cool. Okay.
Sounds like a
No,
monster
I wanna-
who eats cobblers.
Right.
I think that
cherry.
that is a content gold mine,
Oh yeah,
because there's such a lack of people that would know how to do that stuff.
Right. Or at least well.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah.
Anybody can do it, and they'll be like, "Ooh, look at this TikTok."
my dad has had so many people. Oh yeah, I saw how to do it on TikTok, so I want you to do it this way. And my dad's like, no, that's not how you do it.
With the position your dad's in, your customer is just to tell you what outcome they want, and how he does it is how he does it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's how this shit works.
Yeah, that's not how this one customer wanted to do it.
Oh yeah, I get it, dude. People
And-
tell me how they want me to restore the cast iron.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, well, unfortunately, this is not a fucking buffet, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not a jukebox.
Yeah, this isn't Burger King. You don't have it your way.
Yeah. You don't
That's
tell me how to
something
do
I
it.
want to restore.
Yeah, a
jukebox.
jukebox? That would be cool.
They're expensive. Well, the one I want to restore is expensive.
All right, what would the songs be? What would your first top 10 songs on your jukebox be?
Oh, it wouldn't be for me. My parents have always wanted a jukebox, like one of the oldies. The
Knowing his
Wurlitzers.
parents,
For
all
your
Sinatra.
95-year-old grandmother.
Yeah, yeah. So
This one's good, Joe.
they are looking for like an 18-somethings record player because
Really?
they have old wax records that
I
don't
have
work.
one.
Cool.
So yeah, they're looking for the one with the giant horn and the whole nine.
I have. You mean that one?
Yeah,
That one.
yeah, that one.
I got one. I actually found it at a thrift store once, and I actually blew like my whole weekly budget on it without doing any research, like before, like Wi-Fi and
Yeah.
like I can't use cellular data. My bill will go up. My dad will get mad. Like before, like you know what I mean? Like back in
Oh,
those
yeah.
days,
Yeah.
there were so many times where I saw something. I'm like, oh, shit. I wish I was home to Google this on the family PC.
Mom, get off the phone.
I'm just gonna take bang bang. So I just would go on a whim and buy something if I thought it was, you know, it was a gamble.
Yeah.
And one of the things I bought, speaking of record players, was the first record player where you could stack more than 145.
Oh, the auto.
And it has a little arm. It sounds like the door in the Addams Family.
Yeah.
And the mechanisms are so like it.
So there, I learned because I was
Chicago Webster is.
I got really big into records recently, and I was like looking at the old ones because my dad has an old one. It's in my basement, but the drive is all fucked up, so
Right.
it doesn't spin at the right speed. So it's like you'll be listening, and it's just like, I'm like, that's demonic. I love it, but I can't listen to this.
So is the motor bad or the belt's bad?
I think it's the motor because it's
Okay.
a direct drive.
If the
From the 70s.
What I learned about old record players, if the belts aren't super tight,
So the
Where
belt is fine. Unfortunately, I
All
did
right.
look.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the motor's just
okay.
shot. It's from the 70s. So I ended up buying that one,
Yep.
and it's automatic because I'm lazy.
Right.
And I was looking for a while. I was like, what if I can get like an old, like automatic, like the one you're talking about, where like you put 5 records on the top,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
like one drops and it plays, and then the next one drops
Yep.
and it plays. And then I looked up the price. And I was like, okay, you're gonna go with the new one.
Dude, I think I paid like $200 for this thing like almost 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Which
They're
20 years
like-
ago, that was a lot of money for me. That was my whole like week or 2 weeks worth of budget for a thrift store. And because I've been like, I know Bob knows, but I've been flipping stuff for, you know, since I was in high school. I've been always going to the thrift stores. And
Oh, we'll get into that in a second.
okay, yeah, if you want to. But the mechanism, it's a stick with like a little piece of metal that's spring loaded that comes out, and the mechanism comes and hits that spring and pushes it in so that one record will fall while the other ones are still held up by this other piece, and it falls on top of the other record. And if it doesn't start spinning right away and the needle doesn't line up right, you're just rubbing two records on each other.
Oof.
And yeah, big oof. And what I learned about the belts, if the belts were sat in a certain position, like so the belts, the flat part of the belt, if that was stretched out and the other two parts were turned, it'd be like, I fell into the burning river. I fell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's very complex machinery.
Yeah.
So I'm glad
The one I have is Japanese, so I looked it up and I was like, I wonder if it's like worth fixing or if it wasn't like a good one. I found 2 recent sales on eBay and both of them were like $900.
Yeah, it's not a
and
cheap
I was
thing.
like,
It's not a cheap
okay,
hobby.
so it's the one I have. And I was like, I was like, oh, okay, this is a good record player. We're keeping this one.
Right. Being an
After
audiophile
repair.
is not a cheap hobby.
No,
in
no,
general. Like that's, I mean, thrift stores would be your go-to if you're really into this.
So I'm always in thrift stores looking for the old antiquated horn records and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's where I used to go, like you said, religiously when I was in high school and college. I would go all the time. But for me, it was video game stuff. It was retro video game stuff.
Very tough market right now.
Right. Well, that's why I have a love-hate
Thrifting
relationship.
Video games is a very tough market.
Well, it's not thrifting. It's harassment at this point.
Well, I mean, no, I'm saying in general to try to derive a hobby-esque income from video games.
Oh yeah, no. This was more for me like as a collector and less
Yeah.
as like a flipper,
Right.
which made it even more like annoying.
Yeah, because your heart's in it too.
Right.
Man.
Like I
Ugh.
want it for me, not to flip it to the next guy.
Right, but
So-
you don't want to go to the video store and spend $80 on a Mario Kart. You want to find it for $30 and fix it up and dry
Right.
it up. And
So
make it,
last week I was just flipping through my phone, and a thing popped up for a Saturn, like an actual Saturn
car.
No, God no.
No, the planet.
No, the console's worth more.
The planet. I took it up here, and he went, "Fuck you, Kyle."
So I was like, oh, a Sega
No,
Saturn.
the Roman god.
You can get that on Facebook.
Slightly used.
Oh, big statue. It's great.
Emotionally.
Look at my backyard. There's a 12-foot statue. Don't ask where I got it.
No, because I sat here saying, don't say the fucking planet, say the car. That's funny because the planet's the first thing you think of. I said, car's a fuck you, planet.
Amazing.
That's why I like this show. You guys are like, I'm gonna one up this guy. I love it. And if it's comedy you're one upping, then everybody enjoys it.
Yeah, it's win-win. So I go to pick up this Saturn, and I'm talking to this. I'm like, the prices are insane. I'm like, what? Either I'm about to get shot, or like I'm gonna get mugged.
Marketplace, or-
Yeah, it was Marketplace.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get shot. There's no way these prices are low, like this low. So I picked up. Do you remember the game Knights for the Saturn? It came.
I
came
was
with
not
the.
very familiar with Sega Saturn. I have to be honest.
Do you know
It's
the
not-
Dreamcast?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so the Knights game was developed by Sonic, and the round controller came with it.
Okay.
It was basically the first analog, like joystick
Yeah, yeah.
controller.
Okay.
Looks almost identical to the Dreamcast. You could tell where the Dreamcast came from.
To stop you to understand, like as far as Sega was, it was up, down, left, right, and then when the Dreamcast came out, it was almost like an N64 joystick.
Yeah, it had
multiple-directional.
everything.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Got
So Knights was like the first. So that's a big step in like video game history.
Yeah.
And it's really expensive to just get the controller in the game.
Yeah.
So the guy was selling the controller of the game in the box with like the registration card for like $90. And I'm like, I'm going to get shot, but I'm going to go.
It's worth it.
And
I'd take a bullet for that.
yeah. So they're worth like $300 to $400.
Wow.
Is the going rate.
Yeah,
So-
but that's irrelevant to you because
Right.
you don't wanna-
I'm not flipping it.
Right.
It's in my basement.
you have the opportunity to acquire this, and then that extra money
Right.
you could buy cool games.
So then he's selling Sega Genesis speakers. And I was like, excuse me?
What?
The what? And I had to Google it because I thought they were fucking fake. Turns out they made Sega Genesis speakers. They look like computer speakers, like the old 2, but it had Sega Genesis thing on it.
I shouldn't be hearing this because I'm gonna see this shit when I'm picking for Caster. I'm like, I
Should. because they're worth like $400 to $500 a pair. The guy was selling it for $30. So I was like,
What?
Yeah. So I was like, please let me buy the speakers. Whatever you do.
Yeah.
For the love of God, let me buy the speakers.
Right.
Before someone goes, because someone's just going to flip it. I'm
Yeah,
going to see
yeah,
it on
yeah.
Marketplace. The guy finally gets back to me, and he's like, sorry, the speakers are already sold, but the game is yours. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I drove up. I get the game. And then he goes, oh, is there anything else? You're so nice. A lot of the people on here are so rude that are coming in. I'm like, old guy.
90% of the time, I
Adult
got Gems
community.
is saying, "Do you have any more of this?"
So adult community, blah, blah, blah. He tells me it was his son's. Son passed away however many years ago.
Yeah.
He thought he got rid of it all. Turns out there was one more box.
He was playing the video games, didn't eat, died of hunger.
So he goes, I do have a little bit more. And he shows me a stack of Saturn games. And I'm like, weren't you selling these? I thought you pulled them. Like, I thought you pulled them off Marketplace. You sell them for like $500. And he goes, yeah, but, you know, I was getting like harassed by some people. So I pulled the thing. And I was like, all right.
People
well,
are ruthless
yeah.
on Facebook.
He goes, how about
Marketplace.
this?
Have you ever sold anything?
Dude,
I haven't sold, but I've bought.
Yeah.
You can get great deals, like Joe's saying. Like you
I'm
can
afraid
get
to sell, to be honest with you.
you can get unbelievable deals by saying to the person, "Do you have any more things like this?" Trust me, I've been doing this with the cast iron kitchen stuff forever. Hey, do you have anything?
I
like
have
this?
an amp and a receiver that I got from a friend of mine
Yeah.
that I have no use for and I should be selling, but I'm too afraid to deal with it.
Dude, I sold a Panasonic tube radio, like I don't even know the technical term for it. It was something cool. I bought it at Goodwill. So like when I'm picking for cast iron, if I don't find any cast iron, Pyrex or Corningware, any like vintage kitchen stuff, I have like a whole platform of other things I look for, like Funkos and 90s toys in the box, just to get it on the eBay store, just to create that revenue to help when it's called a dry day in picking. Like if what you're looking for isn't there, it's a dry day, so you can get other stuff. I sold this Panasonic radio. I guess it's called is it a receiver? It's just the radio where you plug the speakers into.
The receiver.
Receiver, yeah.
So it was a tube one from the 70s. Apparently one of the first Panasonics. I bought it for $14 at Goodwill, and I sold it for like $600. So the guy that I bought, dude, there's been some crazy flips over the year. But the guy that bought it from me, this was 2 years ago. Every couple weeks, hey, seen any radios recently? Like that level of insanity.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
Well, I'll give you the info if he wants to buy the the receivers and shit.
dude, do
I'll
it.
let you
Get
know.
get that monkey off my back. He can start messaging you, Bob. But I tell him like, hey, listen, man, I'll keep you in my network of pickers for my audio equipment because I see stuff. If I think it's going to be at least double what the tag is on it, I will always buy it. Yeah. Because I have a network of people developed over the years where I can just take this stuff to. I got a video game guy. I got a toy guy. I got a golf club guy. I got a left-handed golf club guy. It's this network of people that so every day when I leave work, there are 4 thrift stores that are in the path of me getting back to my house, depending on if I leave work at 3:30, if I leave it at 4:30, blah, blah, blah. I know the schedules of when they put stuff out. I know the people that work there, the managers. Like they don't hold things for me because they're not. I don't ask them to do that because I don't want to be responsible for somebody losing their job. But if they inform me as to when they get stuff they know I'm looking for, I make sure they're taken care of. I get them coffee, donuts, pizza. I cater around Christmas with like sandwiches and stuff like that. I take care of these people because they're helping me out. So I will go on my normal, 4-person or four thrift store path of things.
4-store tour.
Yeah. And you build up, you see the same people in and out, like almost like a weird roundabout version of coworkers.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, did you see those golf clubs they had at the Red, White, and Blue last week? They were, Wilson left hand. Oh man, I missed them. All right, well, give me your number. I'll shoot you a text next time I see golf clubs. And then he's like, well, yeah, what do you look for? So we all help each other. That's super cool because everybody, if you have the feast or famine mentality with anything, you will eventually be by yourself because it gives everybody else the impression that you are out for only you. If you let people know, I will look out for you, I will help you, then they will help you and look out for you too. I have golf clubs in my car. I have video games in my car. So when I see Seth, I will give him the golf clubs. Or, when I see Brian, I will give him the 90s toys. And he has cast iron for me. And it's just this really cool ecosystem of people. But over the years, I will see, an audio receiver or a record player or something. And I'm like, man, I've never seen anything like that. And there's 2 rules. If it's priced way low than you think it should be, take the gamble. Because if you can double it, you'll it's worth your time anyway. And if you go on eBay and type whatever the product is, you can actually use eBay to take a picture of the item, and they'll search by the picture now, which is like a new thing they instituted. Like if you have for instance, 2 weeks ago, I had a dry day. I didn't find any cast iron, and I found 3 Barbies that looked super old. Now, I'm not well versed in Barbies. I'm proud to admit that I don't know very much about Barbies.
How dare you?
But I looked at their feet. They said Japan, and it said like 1958 in Roman numerals on their butt cheeks. And I was like, you know what? I think I might take the gamble on this. They wound up being like one of the first series they ever made. I bought them for $5 a piece, sold them for over $250. So,
wow,
you know what I mean?
That's awesome.
The other rule is if you search eBay and there's no sold listings and no real examples of what you're looking for that has been sold on eBay or is listed on eBay, buy it. Because there is some weirdo out there in like Des Moines, Iowa that collects Donald Duck pens, and you're going to be able to sell these 50-cent pens for $500. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Like, for instance, the NASCAR collection. I had a dry day at the market the other day, and this guy that I usually pick from, he goes, hey, are you into NASCAR? I'm like, I mean, I'll watch it. I used to play NASCAR 98 on my N64. I loved it. I would drive backwards and kill everybody. He's like, well, I got this box of these old NASCAR, what do they call them, 164th?
Yeah.
Or like the Matchbox?
The 164s.
And I'm like, man, I know nothing about this. But he's got like 150 cars in the original package. I was like, I'll give you $50. He's like, can you give me 60? Yep. Now I have a box of NASCARs in the garage. And guess what? If I sit on it and I have the place to store it, I will make money on it.
Yeah.
And that will yield money to put into the business. So if you're willing to do the research, take the gamble, you have to take risks no matter what you do in life.
Yeah.
Whether it's employment or hobby, you know what I mean? So you taking the gamble of buying the really expensive record player panned out because now guess what? You have a really fucking good record player.
Well, so that's what happened with the Saturn stuff. So the guy came up to me. He's like, oh, I do have this box of old.
Yeah.
He showed me the games.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't pay $500. I can't. He goes, well, how about this? Give me for $10 each. I'm like,
Okay.
Sure. Here, $100. Here you go. I'll take them. 10 games.
Yep.
So he gives me all the 10 games. I'm like, I think like a lot of them are sports games, so they're going to be garbage. But not that they're not fun. It's just that those are
no
the most
bigger money sinkhole
Right.
than vintage video games that are sports.
Right. So I was like, whatever. But then he also had like the V Rally Racing, which is like one of the first rally racing games. It's like $70 game. Then he had the NASCAR, or not NASCAR, Virtual Racer, like the arcade,
like
Virtual
Ridge Racer.
Oh,
kinda.
yeah.
Virtual Racer.
Oh,
Virtual
oh,
Ridge Racer.
Yeah.
And that's like a $70 game.
Yeah.
He had it in the, and then I saw Panzer Dragoon.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and I was like,
I know what that is.
I was like, oh fuck, that can't be it. No,
Wait, say it.
It's like a $700 game.
Dragoon?
Panzer Dragoon.
Panzer Dragoon's like a $700 game.
Panzer
Yeah.
Dragoon.
So I was like, oh my god, it can't actually be it. It was a demo disc. So I was like,
oh no.
the demo disc is worth like $30. So I was like, all right, cool haul for the collection. Having a Panzer Dragoon demo disc is kind of neat because I'm never going to get the real game because I'm not about that life. And then the guy goes, oh, here, you might like this too. And he hands me the stickers of a Sega Saturn, like 4 Sega Saturn stickers.
Ugh.
And I was like, are those the stickers that came with the console? And he goes, I don't know, but if you're a collector, maybe you'll enjoy these. So I was like, that's really cool, thanks. And he gave me the instruction manual.
Panzer
Sega-
Dragoon.
That's it.
Panzer Crab Rangoon.
No, that's different.
Oh, okay, that's a different one. Okay.
That's a mod.
That's Crab Rangoon in a tank.
Sega Saturn.
imagine?
Sega Saturn grilled cheese. Wow,
Well, we
dude,
had-
holy hell. Oh my
I
god!
wasn't kidding.
Yo, you were not, dude. We skipped a couple steps here, buddy.
So
Wow.
yeah, that's up there. So if you've ever
He said it like it was profound. Even I know what that is. Yo, I don't know any other game.
Well,
I don't know any other Saturn game. That's the only
Get
one.
the
Knights.
guards with the furry hats. To,
Knights and Panzer Dragoon, those are the big
Really?
ones. Yeah.
So okay, so now I know to look.
So he gave me the stickers, and I was like, "That's really cool. I think I know what those are." And he gave me a Sega Genesis
Way
instruction
to
book.
undermine my stickers, then fuck me, huh?
Well, I know what those are too. So I get home, like no big deal, and I'm starting to look like at the games to see like what they're worth, just so I know.
Yeah.
And then I come up with the stickers. He just handed them to me. Fucking $90. Those are the OG. When you buy the console, you get the stickers.
Wow.
Like in the box.
Damn.
So I was like, that is such a fucking cool collector's piece to just have the original stickers.
So now let me ask you this: you have the emotional connection to that whole experience. You have the emotional connection to acquiring the games, finding out the stickers, seeing your panther dragon goon or whatever, and it's gonna be. It's like when you name a chicken. It's going to be 10 times harder to slaughter that chicken.
Well,
it's
see-
going to be hard for you to ever part with that stuff because you have this emotional connection with it.
Well, see, the thing for me, I was always a Sega. Like, I was a Sega baby. And then when I grew up, I went to PlayStation.
My mom called every video game after we
Sega.
had Sega.
Yeah,
Turn
my
off
parents
that
do.
PlayStation Sega.
My mom still calls everything Sega. I'm like,
Yeah.
Mom,
PlayStation
they've been
from
out
April.
of business.
Get that
since-
Xbox
since
360 Sega
2001.
out of here. Yeah. Same thing.
Turn off the Sega. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's 2009.
Yeah.
Sega doesn't exist anymore. They
Mom,
make
it's
games.
not a Sega, it's an N64. Then Dad goes, shut it all. Oh, okay.
So I am a big collector of Sega. I have one of every console they've ever made in North America. Like,
All right, you just cemented your reputation. Thank you very much.
a couple of them were hard, but I got them.
I understand your dedication.
So like, it's not for me to flip that kind of. I do have like 37 Genesises, and that I will tell you is emotional.
I would tell
and
you
I'll
that's
tell you
weird
why.
if you didn't have a bunch of different versions of the same fucking frying pan in your basement too. Like I get it.
So, well, I have my original that I got when I was 3.
Your OG set.
My OG.
Yep.
And then
My Griswold
I
from my
got
grandma.
I got another one, and then I picked up another one. Then we moved, and they got put in a box, and now I don't fucking know which one is the right one, of which one is mine.
So you can't get rid of
So I
either.
can't get rid of any of
Yeah,
them.
they're just yours now. They live here forever.
Those are just mine.
That's an infinity set.
That's it.
That's it.
Every other console, I really like. I could
get
trade, I could swap, no big deal. Those 3,
Dude.
can't. That's it.
It's not weird to me. I can tell you that I bought a stack of skillets in my grandfather's hometown in Tennessee while I was plowing through the South one time. I can't remember which ones I bought from his town, so there's a whole stack of skillets. Not sure which one they are. You guys live there until I figure it out.
Have you guys encountered the other side of flipping, or the people who try to scam flippers?
I have actually had a few people attempt to scam me, and it always came back in my favor because I learned how to cover my tracks.
I had a very funny experience at Englishtown Auction. So I used to.
I like Englishtown Auction. Don't
No, it's
put a bad
nothing-
taste in my mouth.
It's nothing with the auction itself, but
It was
I
a
used to go
person
all
there.
the-
Yeah.
It was a person there.
Yeah.
D-Dell dubs to the Jets' paper behind my back.
No, they
So
did.
I used to go there all the time with my buddy Mike. He would also look for vintage video game stuff. I would look for music instruments because I was really into guitar, bass, drums, etc.
Yeah.
And I caught a really couple cool things there. Like I got a coffin case for a bass for like $10. It
That's
was
cool.
sick as hell.
Misfits.
Oh yeah. But one guy there is trying to sell this violin. And he's trying to sell this violin for like $500. I'm like, what is this, dude?
Stratocaster, man.
That's the story. So he was
I
telling
know
everybody
this
it was a Stradivarius.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And I didn't know what that was.
That fucking
So
Englishtown Auction. Go fuck yourself.
I called at the time a guy who ran a music store, and I was like, what is a Stradivarius? There's a guy at Englishtown Auction that's like talking this thing up, and he starts laughing at me.
Yeah, it's-
And I'm like, what's
It's a six-figure violin.
a Stradivarius? More than 6 figures. A Stradivarius is like one specific violin manufacturer from like fucking Italy from like the 20s. And there are only 4 or 5 known Stradivarius top grade violins in the world, which this guy was touting he was selling. And they go for like tens of millions of dollars.
Is there only 5?
Whatever the highest end was that he said that he was pitching, the guy
Yeah.
gave me the whole earful. And I turned to him and I go, oh, well, like, you mind if I see it? And he holds it up to me, and I look on the inside, and it says,
There's only 650 that were ever made in the world.
Oh my
Wow.
God. And that was from the 20s.
Unreal.
does it say what the year was?
No, 300 years old is the newest.
300 years old. Fuck,
do it.
wow.
Last
Okay, so
one
the
sold-
1720s. Whoops.
1720s.
There you go. Last one. The instrument was found 3 years later. The most recent one sold for 2.3 million December, according to BBC.
Got it. Millions, not tens of millions.
Millions.
But this guy's there telling everybody watching, this is a Stradivarius. And the guy on the phone with me is just laughing his ass off. And I looked at him and I looked down at the violin. I looked back at him and it says, oh, it says right in here, replica Stradivarius. And he got pissed at me. This little dude, like old Asian man, got in my face yelling at me because I said replica Stradivarius out loud.
Yelling at you?
Yelling at me like you get out of here, and just flipped out on me because I said
you
replica
destroyed
out
his
loud.
plot.
Oh
Right.
yeah, and now there's like people around me are like murmuring, a couple of them laughing, a few of them leave, but he followed me down the aisle. He was fucking furious.
Well, can I ask you what he was asking for this Stradivarius?
Couple $100.
Dude, see now, that's you know the way I approach that. There is a complete subculture. Okay, so when you go to these flea markets, you see people out there with flashlights at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's me. I'm back at home in bed by 7:30.
I have no problem with that.
No, I understand
That's
that, but I'm
cool.
saying the
That's a
subculture of people that are selling these things, and that the reason that guy got so upset, and the reason that he thought he had to lie about it being a Stradivarius, that's a person in a tough spot.
Yeah.
So I look at it, not religious. We're not getting down that path, but I look at it like my heart goes out to these people to feel that they have to use that method of
Sales tactic.
Yeah.
That's somebody that's in a position I have not been in, and I have experienced that umpteen amount of times.
Wow.
So I need you to do me a favor since you are always looking.
Sure.
When my company was renovating, they had a payphone on the wall. It was a Verizon payphone. I took it because payphone. It's hilarious.
Because payphone.
Yeah. My dad, after like 8 months, was like, we're moving. Get rid of the payphone. And I was like, why? It's a payphone. Why would we get rid of that? I could probably sell it. He's like, just get rid of it. It's not worth anything. And I, being an idiot, was just like, yeah, you're probably right. Tossed it. So, remember I said I now have a house phone?
Yeah.
Well, duh, I want a payphone.
Verizon payphone. Okay.
Would Bell be
Bell?
an acceptable brand?
Bell, Verizon, you name it. If you could find me a payphone, they're worth like $500 to $800 now.
Oh, yeah.
And the one I had was clean because it was inside, so it wasn't rusted.
I looked it up. It's nice.
Yeah,
Very good.
Yeah,
I have to do that. It's for my depth of understanding.
So I would like a payphone, but I don't want to pay $600 to $800 for a payphone.
Correct.
And I know you could probably find them when people are flipping them.
I see them all the time.
Yeah. So if you could just locate one at like near like the $100 mark, that'd be great. And then I could wire it up and rig it to get it working.
Sure.
So that we could have a payphone for the podcast.
There you go. So it's it was funny when I lived at
Oh
home.
my god, I love everything about that.
Yeah.
Well, you can't hook that up to your home phone.
The fuck you can't.
Yeah,
No.
of course
I
you
don't
could.
mean you can't, like, it's
No,
not
bad
possible.
attitude.
I mean, you're not giving out your home phone number to the podcast.
Oh, it's like a made up number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, but you could actually make it work. if you
Like
want.
yeah, like it's,
Yeah.
So I
mean, like, don't put your phone number out there on the internet for anybody to just call you whenever they feel like.
So how this works, this service that I got from my grandma is basically a voice over IP box that you get, and then that
Right.
just plugs in. So like you could just change the phone number at will.
You're totally embracing the fact that your grandmom's involved with this, and you're starting to go down the hole, dude. I'm telling you, I'll be
Oh,
waiting for you at the
I'm
bottom
not-
of this pit.
I'm not.
Okay, you're gonna. Oh, I got it for grandma, so we're gonna get the cool payphone. That's the right.
Oh,
that's
it
the right
was
make and
only
model.
for a couple weeks. It's like $4 a month to keep
Yeah,
the
but
service.
now you're into it.
So now I want a real payphone.
You're
to
into
just
it.
hook it up, and then I was looking.
Damn it, say you're into it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm into
okay,
everything.
all right, then yes.
I was about to buy a fucking phone booth.
See?
Oh
God. My goddamn Doctor Who here.
My wife was
we go.
looking at me. She's like, "What the fuck are you gonna do with a payphone?"
You
Like,
got to embrace your weirdness.
I was like, the box, put it out front on the fucking driveway. You got to make a call. Come to the phone booth.
so
Joe, where's Grandma? Oh, she's out there. She's outside in the phone booth.
15 degrees outside
She's
in the phone
suffocating
booth.
in the phone booth.
Hey,
Pouring rain.
there's a fancy phone booth. I could put heat in it.
Your grandma pops out of the phone booth and it's Superman. God.
Oh boy.
Oh shit. So how it all started like a long time ago, I was really into like scrapping. Like when I told you guys last time I was here, I told you guys last time I was here, I took care of my grandfather. He had Alzheimer's, dementia, full 9, and I was his round-the-clock caretaker. My family paid me, decent money to take care of him. But, somebody once asked John Rockefeller how much is enough money. He said a little bit more. So I figured out a little bit more. I would take my truck out and I would recycle scrap metal. And it was a decent market back in the day. It was, tail end of the last recession, the 2008 crash and all that. So scrap was high. Whenever the economy's down, commodities are up. Gold, silver, all the way down to steel. So I created this website, and I said, I will market this website on Google. And if you give me the scrap from your auto shop or your electrician shop, I will create these Google ads for you. It was right on the start of Google prioritizing ads, sponsored ads. And I figured that out. I figured out how much the sponsored ads would cost. So I would go to these companies and say, I'll pay for your sponsored ad if you keep me as a consistent customer to buy the scrap from you. So I'd give them a little money for the scrap. I'd buy their shop pizza and I'd pay for their sponsored ads. And I would still make, $5,000 to $1,000 every 2 weeks scrapping just with my truck. So I got these clients, and it just turned into this thing. It was really good for a long time until the economy started getting better. I was happy the economy was better. There's more jobs, but then scrap goes down to the point where it's almost costing me money to operate. So I had to pivot, for lack of a better term. But before I did, this is still when I was living at home / with my grandfather because he had passed away, and I had to go back home. Blah blah blah. In between all that, I had a guy that owned a shop. He said, "Hey, I got this old radiator here. You into radiators?" I said, "Yeah, it's aluminum. I'll take it." I was scrapping radiators like nobody's business. I could, 50 cents a pound. You get a truckload of them. It's good money.
Yeah.
So I took the radiator, and something looked off. Something looked different about it. I'm like, man, this is old. Like, I'm trying to look for markings, serial numbers, blah, blah, blah. And when I went to get it, the guy's like, I think it's from an older Corvette. So I'm like, all right, we got to figure this out. And it was from a 66 Corvette, original OEM Chevy, GM radiator, and it sealed up. It was good. It was red. It was good. It was apparently a car that had rear end damage, but they salvaged the motor and the radiator, the front end. This guy bought a shop from somebody who died, and it was long story. So I hung on to it. I put it behind my parents' shed. And when I moved out to my first apartment, my dad's like, get all this shit out of here. Take it all with you. I'm like, I don't know where to put this thing. He's like, get it out of here. My mom's like, I don't want this stuff here, blah, blah, blah. Which they had every right to. Because I was totally, capitalizing on their home by keeping, it's my record collection. It's my radiator. It's my this, my that.
It's my Corvette radiator, guys.
My mom's like, throw it out.
Eventually, I'll have the rest of that Corvette. You put that there.
Dude, I'll never forget. I'll never
We're
forget.
gonna plan it to make the car grow.
No, I wanted to hold out.
My parents would say.
And the very next week, I found a fucking 66 Corvette with no radiator in it.
I'm going to buy a Saturn one day, and I mean to plan it. So I'll never forget my mom saying, you got to throw it out. That's your only option. You have to throw it out. My dad's like, all right, you heard the boss. You got to throw it out. I'm like, yeah, it's for a 66 Corvette. I want to wait and find somebody that needs it. My dad goes, put that back behind the shed and hang out and wait for it. And I found somebody, a hot rodder, that wanted to buy it. And I got that radiator for free from a guy that knew what it was because he didn't want to deal with it. And somebody paid me $700 for that radiator.
Sheesh.
And that moment, I knew if I did my homework and I had a space to keep things, not hoard crap, but hang on to the right thing and wait for the right buyer. It could totally yield awesome results. And over time, that accumulated into doing yard sales and flea markets and flipping. And then when I developed that, I had this really deep love for good food with, living with my grandfather and whatever. It turned into the vintage kitchen stuff. And that's exactly where I'm at right now. So if I see those things from years past that I know make money, I will always grab them because that can help me buy my next skillet. That can help me buy my next diamond in the rough, a skillet that's, over last month, there was a guy at Columbus flea market that had a Erie Spider, which is like the rarest skillet of all times. Erie, Pennsylvania, had a little spider on the skillet, number 8 skillet. It's like an $8,000 skillet.
Why do I know that?
If you've ever researched cast iron, it like comes up as like the rarest, weirdest skillet in the world. There's articles all over.
No, I think I've seen it.
I own one. I've probably
It wasn't that.
It's not one of the $8,000 ones. Please, Jesus Christ. It's actually what that was, and where the spider was. It's like all sulfur pitted out from like bad stoves, but that's what the skillet was at one time. So somebody bought that skillet from somebody for $3,000 at the flea market, and then could sell it for $8,000.
Wow.
So just having that deep psychotic level of research and mental storage.
It's like
some people see it as like irrelevancy. Some people see it as like a weird like oh, this is junk, but it is.
Yeah, to some.
But it's not like plastic bags and already
Feel
colored in
that.
coloring books.
One man's trash is another man's treasure. You
I
don't know
found a
what something's worth.
66 Fender Stratocaster guitar case in the trash on Main Street in New Egypt in 2011. And I sold it for $1,000.
Wow.
To a guy in Belmar 3 days after I found it.
I wouldn't be surprised. Those guitars are like, what, $140,000 now?
Yep.
Plus?
Yep.
Even the ones that look like... Take the most beat-up guitar you've ever seen in your fucking life. Like, barely any paint left.
The one I put through my friend's garage door.
Worse. Way worse. There's no shine left on them.
But if it's a 60
If it's a
Strat,
66 Strat, $43,000.
he could sell it to the guy with the Corvette and they can have matching years stuff. But like what I'm saying is it's not like you have to understand what is worth hanging on to and what's not, because eventually you're hanging on to Acme bags with your own piss in them.
That's what I'm going through in the basement. Not the Acme bags of piss.
That's what I'm going through.
They're actually ShopRite bags.
They're ShopRite.
My girlfriend's sorting the piss right now.
We're
It's
out
the
of
bright yellow ShopRite bags.
Hey,
out of-
listen, plastic bags come at a premium in New
I was
Jersey.
just gonna say we were out of plastic, so I'm using paper. It's not working well.
Now we're buying the trash.
So in the basement, I am finally cleaning up to getting ready to clean, like to finish the basement, and I hoard tech shit because I never know if I'm gonna need it.
Right.
Like someone has a weird old project, someone has an antique computer, and you need a
You're
piece
the
of
audio
bins
equipment.
of wire guy, aren't you?
100%.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
shit.
threw out 3 bins of wire. 2 days later, someone was like, "You have an old printer cable?" I was like, "Fuck! Fuck!"
I walked into Joe's house once and I was like, thinking of getting a Google Home, and he goes, "I have 6 downstairs. Do you want one?"
Still
and I was
do.
like,
Dude, I just
Sure.
broke my Google Home.
Oh, you need another one? I got a brand new one in the box.
Probably do. Dude, what you should do
I
is
got one in the box sealed, and I got one out of the box. I haven't plugged it.
every 6 months, I have a purge at my house. I go through everything I'm hanging on to. I say donate and write off, because at a certain point, everything's worth the tax write-off rather than taking up space. Donate, write off, keep and use, practicality-wise, like what can I use in my daily life, or sell. And the sell stuff goes in bins, and once I have 10 or 12 bins, I borrow my dad's truck, and I go to the flea market. And
Yeah, I haven't gone
that
to the flea market yet.
You have to get... It's not a rushed process either. You have to be calm about this, because rash decisions yield low money. You have to think about what you want, what you need, what you don't need, what you can sell, how much you want to sell it for. You have to go there knowing what you're going to sell it for, because the worst thing anybody could say is, how much you want for that? I don't know. What are you going to pay? Fuck you, how much?
50 cents.
$2.
I was gonna say I got
that.
$3.
I will walk away at the flea market if you say that. Hey, how much you want for that skillet? Well, what do you want to pay me? See ya.
Nothing.
Oh,
Fuck you.
no. I want to sell it. Oh, no. See ya.
My favorite, some people are like, what's your lowest price? Like,
Yeah.
I've already told you what the price is. Don't ask me for the lower price.
My approach, I will pull the curtain back a little bit. I will push away some of the smoke and mirrors. I said, what do you need to get on this thing? And that's telling. That is not a question. That is a psychological deep spiral because it's telling the person you understand that they're making money on it.
Yeah.
But they understand you could potentially be making money on it, or you know the true value of it. So it's kind of like a mind fuck. They're like, what do I need to get for? What do I need to get? And it almost exposes all the honesty. Really, that's the way I look at it. Like you just say, hey, what do you need to get for this thing? What do you need to make it? What do you need to get to be happy? And as long as that's lower than my nut for it, then we can make this work.
Yeah.
And it works all the time.
Whenever my dad has people try to haggle him with prices,
How much is your nibbler there,
because
Mr.
like, because he'll have, he has
Fuck you,
like
that's
his
how much.
prices. It's like, blah blah blah, 55 and up. That's this and up because it depends on the size of the shoe, the make, how hard it is, blah blah blah. He'll be like, oh, it's it's $53, and like, oh, well, can you do 45? My dad would be like, $57. And he'll raise the price every time by every amount that they try to lower it.
Oh yeah,
And they'll be like, fine, 40. He's like, no, it's 57 now.
right.
And they're like, fine, we'll go somewhere else. And they're like, all right, I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
And sure as shit, they come in, head down. A couple days later,
Tail between
yep,
their
it's
legs.
$55. Okay.
And that is a true testament to your dad's craft right there. That is a rootin' tootin' son of a bitch. He can make a shoe, and see.
He can be an ornery son of a
Can
bitch,
we?
but
Would there ever be a scenario where we would have like? I mean, not we. I'm not speaking for you guys if you'd be as interested, but I personally, Bob, and this is Kyle, the person who is Cast Iron Kyle. I would like to go and see that.
So
Yeah.
So real talk. I've been thinking about. I have a very expensive pair of shoes I bought. My favorite dress shoes I've ever bought.
So do I. Me too.
Because they have.
I only have garbage shoes.
So I bought
know.
really expensive ones. Like the they have like a flex in the middle, like fabric.
Yeah.
So you kind of look like they're like way too fancy for like normal shoes. It's like black,
right.
white with the fabric and then black again.
Yeah.
I love wearing them because they're comfy because you could actually walk and like they bend.
Right.
But I've used them
They're
now
my
for like,
magic shoes,
yeah,
Jenny.
they look like fucking Michael Jackson shoes.
There you go.
But they're comfortable as all fuck for a dress shoe. But I don't want to get rid of them and I don't want to buy another pair because they're really good. They just need to be cleaned up and probably redone. And I was like, Bob was like, my dad works at has a shoe factory. I'm like, he does what now?
Bob told me about what his dad does, and he's right. He's one of the last true people of his craft.
and like on top of that, he's literally, and my girlfriend just texted me in all caps, you need to have your dad on as a guest.
Dude,
Nice. Which we could bring this shit
That
to
would be
him
fun.
and have him.
if you do,
Do a
Bob,
shoe.
He would be all about that.
And do a shoe.
He would be all about that.
if I
by
bring
the
my
way.
shoes, I'll pay. Like not for free. If I bring my shoes, could he like fix my shoes live?
Probably.
Bob, if you do, let me please.
Yes.
I ask you this
Well, you
in
could
all
just-
sincerity. If you do have your father here to talk about what he's doing, I would contribute as much as I can. I would make the episode completely not about me, but make me part of the panel, so to speak. Because I run machines. The newest machine I run at my job was made in 1949. The oldest one was 1914. I'm telling you, I run vertical turret lathes, horizontal lathes, made in the industrial era of Ohio. I really want to hear about the manufacturing process of these machines, and I am such a machine nerd where I would love to, kind of help you guys like create the content and rear the questions out of him. So if we could, dude, I am all over that.
We could definitely set something up. I'm sure he would have no problem with us just going to his shop one day
That is unreal.
and doing the show live there. Like,
Live on site.
because he,
you know how I picture it? The beginning of Toy Story where the guy's fixing Woody.
yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
Like-
you know what we can fucking do? Because it's like such an old, like antiquated thing. We'll put like a sepia filter over the camera.
Yeah, but it's not though. That's the thing. It's still such a necessity.
I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I
No,
just mean it would
I
be
know
like,
you're not, but it's like it's such a double-edged sword. Is it an antiquated process? Absolutely. But is it something only a handful of people know? Absolutely.
And I mean, the equipment that this man has is like, he can sharpen knives.
Yeah.
He'll cut keys.
He can sharpen knives. Can he
Oh,
sharpen Japanese knives? Like
I'm
in
sure he
bulk?
could.
I might be
Because
outsourcing.
he's got a whole wheel set up, like a rough side, a smooth side. Like he does all of
Holy
only
hell.
thing he can't do is serrated.
Is anyone smelling what's cooking right
Like-
now? Cast Iron Kyle, Bob's dad collab on sharpening Japanese like Damascus steel knives.
He'll cut keys, install zippers, like fix handbags and suitcases and shit. He has a manual sewing machine. Like-
Manual.
Like you use your feet, like the foot pedal,
Yeah.
to actually make the machine work.
So does
Like
he get-
none of this electric shit. Like it's all manual
like
and all
Singer,
that.
Oh, like the
foot-
air pump.
No, manual. Like it's
Like each stitch is a push.
It's each stitch is a push, and he's got his like foot wheel thing.
It's got a flywheel and like a pulley system. They
It's-
make tables out of them.
It's
Yeah, that's what
100% mechanical. Like
Wow.
there's
On-
not a
that-
single like electric component there. His friend used to cut gems. Like actually like polish the gemstones, like cut them,
unbelievable.
all that kind of shit. Like he can literally fix almost anything.
Do not be surprised if he is on here and it goes into something big because people want to see that stuff.
Oh yeah.
There's TikTok and Instagram Reels. They all learned real quick that people don't want to place ads against high school girls dancing all the time. Like Verizon is not going to take an ad out against that.
Yeah.
But if it's cool content that people want to see, they're going to
yeah.
take an ad space.
He literally made a necklace for my girlfriend.
Unbelievable.
Like she got a piece of sea glass, and my dad's like, "Yeah, I can make something out of it." The dude made a necklace.
Did he polish the sea glass?
Yeah,
unbelievable.
he's got a
wait,
gem
hang on,
wheel, like a gem
Your
wheel.
dad
and all
knows how to
that.
facet gemstones.
Yeah.
Okay. Can he teach me that? Because there's an enormous market for faceted gemstone dice,
No shit.
and it is all just mathematical calculations and
Faceted
angles.
gemstone dice.
Yes. So there's a guy that will take legit gemstones,
Okay.
and he was in gemstone faceting. And not only would he do the shape like the D20, but he'll put like on each
It's a
corner,
D20. Let me see that.
20-sided die, he'll put on each corner a faceted, flat, 5-pointed star. So imagine like, you know how the top of a diamond's faceted with like, instead of just the square, it's got like the corners cut off. He'll do faceted shapes in the corners of the D20.
Whoa.
And he's done them out of like quartz, and they shine like diamonds.
Dude,
It's
this looks
insane.
This looks like a ring pop, bro. This looks like a ring pop that you dropped by accident.
That's
you got your
amazing.
hand out like it's what is that made out of?
That
Epoxy.
that's epoxy and foil.
Wow. Dude, it's a skill, Bob. Your dad's got to embrace it. We got to get him to embrace it because it's.
I should
it's-
honestly just teach my dad how to make dice, and he could use because Bronson he has like the whole like jeweler's wheel and all that kind of stuff to polish it up. And
He has a
shine it.
whetstone
Teach
wheel?
me.
Yeah, I think he has two. He
that's-
had two. He might only have one now. I don't remember.
That's unbelievably cool.
The amount of shit my dad knows how to do is
Yeah.
disturbing.
I'm not
Yeah.
kidding. Can you please teach me how to facet that?
Yeah,
I want to learn that so bad.
we'll have my dad come on as a guest one of these days.
I would. I'll stand over there in the kitchen and listen. I don't even need a microphone or headphones. I'll sit over there and listen. Because those are the people. The problem with, I don't want to sound like an old man screaming on the porch, but the problem with society nowadays is people don't understand who you need to listen to. Mm-hmm. There are people that are screaming, and nobody's listening. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, one day we're going to be like, man, those people were screaming. We should have been listening. And nobody's picking that up. Mm-hmm. And when I would like where I work right now, there was, like I said, the old guy that I learned the machining. I didn't learn the machining practices from, but I watched him and what he would do every once in a while I was in the middle of doing what I would do. I would like peek over and be like, "Wow, that's crazy. I hope maybe if I do that one day, I'll do it that way. I need to learn how to do it that way. I can't go to Google and Instagram and YouTube for this.
Yeah.
You can't for what your dad's doing.
No.
And there's got to be somebody between here and California or Canada and Mexico that wants to learn that. There has to be.
My dad is he's part of this one Facebook group of cobblers. And there's a bunch of guys over in Italy that share what they do and all this other stuff. And And he's like, man, I just saw this guy. He did da-da-da-da-da-da. And while he's doing that, he's making coffee. And because of that video, he went out and bought like this like old school Italian stovetop coffee maker that my grandfather had.
The little espresso one. It looks like
Yeah.
a little, like an
It's
hourglass almost.
almost like an
percolator.
hourglass, like a combination of those two, like
Yeah.
we got one.
all metal, just right there on the stove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
House smells like coffee every afternoon when he gets home. It's amazing.
Unbelievable. No, that's cool, man. I think it's something you guys need to embrace. I think.
Yeah, when we do that show, I'll let you know, and by all means,
I could be a
join
fly
up
on the
with
wall,
us.
dude.
That rolls all the way back to why I have a new record player, not the old one.
Right.
I can't find anybody to fix it.
No, that's dude. You remember? I remember when I was a kid. I don't know if you guys grew up in the same area as me. I mean, have you been in this area predominantly, like most of your life?
It was a little south, but
Well, by me in the Hamilton, Trenton area, that was a very industrial area
Oh, yeah.
20, 25
Roebling
years ago.
Steel,
There was
Brooklyn Bridge.
There was microwave repair shops. There was VCR repair shops. And the complete chaos of inventory in these places, and the guy knew where everything was. Like, that's like when shit breaks in our house. Like, our toaster broke. I'm like, isn't there a guy with, like, fucking pliers that could come here and fix it? Because I can't fix it. I work on big machines, and I can't figure out how to fix this modern toaster oven.
That's literally my dad's shop.
Yeah.
You walk in, it looks like a bomb went off, but he knows where every single piece of everything is.
That's, dude, Albert Einstein's desk. Go ahead and Google that one, what his office looked like. Mm-hmm. And it's,
it's my basement.
yeah. You know where everything is.
Yeah.
You're like, Joe, where's this? Here you go.
If you move it, gone forever.
Where there's a paper clip under my desk right next to the
Yeah.
left leg, but it's the left rear leg and it's bent a little bit at a 90-degree angle.
And it's right under there to the left.
yeah.
I will give exact instructions to my wife. She's like, how do you remember where that was? I'm like, because I put it there.
My girlfriend and I have the same discussion. She says, how do you remember? I was like, because listen, women get mad at men for what they forget. Men get mad at women for what they remember. Think about that.
Mm.
Am I wrong?
No, I think that checks out.
Yeah, that checks.
I think that math tracks.
I don't mean it derogatory because trust me, dude, I forget a lot. Like there's a lot of times I'm dead guilty of forgetting, but there's times where I remember exactly where I put stuff. Like I'll have like a tool or like a little fitting or something I need to bring to work, and I'll put it under the envelope that the electric bill's in, and the electric bill's due in 2 weeks, so I know that the electric bill's not moved yet, so my piece should be under there. That's my thought process, but unfortunately, that's not conducive to a nice house. And
I have the ADHD, so if I put it under something, it's gone forever.
it's got to be
That's
vision.
That's why I have everything out and about.
That is a vicious animal.
Yeah, I'm like a T-Rex. My memory is based on vision.
I used to be that way. You know how I had to do that, dude. You know how I had to combat that? I was the same thing. I had to write down in my phone where I would put things.
Yeah,
that
but see,
would
then
not
I
be
never
able to
checked the
see.
note that I wrote.
'Cause
it's
you
closed.
got initiative, bro. You got to push. Speaking
All
of
for
things,
initiative.
Speaking of things to put in your basement, I got this package. I want to show you guys.
That's what she said. I'm just gonna keep doing it.
Oh boy.
Your package has a tail.
It does. It has 3 tails. All right, so, let me see if I can get this out of here. Here we go. Ugh. So, for each of you guys, for being so generous, letting me be on your podcast to ramble about record players and all kinds of things, I have a skillet for each of you guys.
Oh wow.
Oh, you.
A nice, grill skillet.
A grill it?
A grill it. Yeah, dude. What? Marketing genius over here. Just clean them up, whatever, oil them up. And I want to see what you guys can cook in this. I'm challenging you guys to cook some steak, to cook some chicken, pork chops, veggies, whatever you want, and share it with me. Because I think that you guys could come up with some really cool stuff. So this is one of them, one of each for you.
Thank you.
Yep.
That is awesome.
I forgot they're heavy.
From the depths of my garage, you guys each get the same exact thing. So there's a control
All right.
to the experiment.
You know, I love it. Joe's already going to win this competition.
Oh,
right?
100%.
I already had an idea.
His grandmom will be, be able to help.
My grandma doesn't really use cast iron. She doesn't like meat. She cooks a lot of veggie stuff.
Ooh, okay, well then, hey, part of the equation. And for each of you guys, I got you a industrial stainless steel wool
A ball of foil.
scrubber.
Yes.
to help maintain your skillets if they're bad, if stuff sticks, whatever. And then in between, if it doesn't, I got you guys some score pads so that you don't go crazy
Scouring.
scouring. There you go.
Yeah.
So that's for each of you guys.
Cool.
Thank you for letting me come here and just feel free to talk about wherever the conversation goes. I love the open format of your guys' spot here. So
Hell yeah, we
That-
love having you.
thank you.
It's been, I think my favorite part of the podcast have been when we get guests on to just talk about like their thing. Like we had the guy from 101.5 who talked about the weather.
Pete Torriello come on.
Yeah, that
Huge.
was a good episode. I listened to that one.
It was just, I love, like, our friend Phil came on and talked about mead, and we made mead.
I
Like,
wish I was here for that one.
we have a bottle if you want to try some.
I would love to try some.
so
You
for
have
here.
some?
Yeah, it's our
Dude,
mead.
I
It's
love-
tabletop mead.
Yeah, that.
Well,
yeah, you
it's
have your own
with
recipe. Yes,
Our thing, yeah.
Yeah.
We made it on
I
the
would
show,
be absolutely
and he
honored
bottled
to.
it
So
for us.
I
we'll
have,
have to get into that.
so I have a big bottle.
Okay.
Spoiler. We were looking to do for like our 100th episode or whatever.
Okay.
Bring as many guests as we can back to have like a
You send me the
pop the bottle
Let's
open on
do
the
it.
mead.
Well, don't
Nice.
know. Is that all you have then?
No, I got extras.
All right, I want to taste it.
I got
I
other
love mead, dude. When I go to Jim Throw Up,
Accurate.
there's a meadery there, and there's an old man that looks mean and blows bubbles out of his house. You walk down.
That is very like Northeast PA.
Jim Thorpe is so awesome, but yet like it's just like wedged in this weird spot. There's a firehouse that's turned into a restaurant and a theater. It's the coolest thing ever. Well, you walk down the streets because I fucking fuckers. It's the weirdest thing.
Fuck you. Have a nice day.
But there
Fuck
is
you.
a mead spot to drink. I don't know, brewery, distillery.
Meadery.
Is it meadery?
Ah.
There was a meadery there, and they were giving out little samples like hummingbird cups
Yeah.
of mead, and I was like, I've never had, what the hell's mead? I don't know what that is. And I tasted. I was like, we need to buy a vat of that.
Yeah.
Which we talked last time. A vat is a way to describe a large amount of something.
America.
And I learned, so I have ADHD very bad too. So I get to the point where I learn a new word and then I have to research like the origin and like every single thing that's ever involved with that word.
Feel that.
And
Yeah.
I really got into mead and I learned like the Vikings, how they distilled, and you know, it's a very antiquated way to make really good stuff nowadays. So I'm very interested in trying it, and I liked that episode a lot. That was very cool.
Yeah. So that's fun. So since you gave us stuff, I guess you have to give us, or you have to do one more thing for us.
Yeah.
Can you grab the meat, the vegetable, the wok? How many books do I have now? I've been trying to get to 6.
Okay.
Let's see. 1, 2,
There's the meat. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip veggie. Actually, we'll keep pizza. Skip pizza. Get a veggie wok. The food lab.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Do I get to 6? However many it takes to get to 6. I'm bad at counting and I'm looking in a weird direction.
Okay.
Here, there's 6.
Okay. What
Perfect.
do I have to do?
So we got
We gotta roll a die.
Gordon Ramsay's home cooking.
We have-
sous vide.
Before
Proud
we,
as fuck to say that this dude follows my Instagram now.
Wow.
I'm not kidding.
That's awesome.
And organically too.
That's fantastic.
I got a message from one of my buddies who's a big foodie. Like, dude, are you sitting down right now? I'm like, no. What do you mean? What do you mean? Am I sitting down? He's like, me and my wife were looking through your Instagram, like who follows you, like who we follow. He goes, I think Gordon Ramsay's following your Instagram. I'm like, there's no fucking way Gordon Ramsay's following my Instagram. That's like the pinnacle of where I'm at. I only have like 20,000 followers. There's no way. And I was like, hang on. And I had him on speaker. And this is one of my best friends. And I looked and he was fucking following me, man. And it was like
that is so cool.
one of the coolest days I've ever felt like, wow, I'm doing something that I should be doing. And
That is so fucking
while I
sick.
was standing right there, I took my most current restoration video and I just sent it to him. I said, hey, Gordon, I really appreciate you following me. I know that there's probably no chance of you seeing this, but here's my most current restoration. Would love to hear your thoughts. Messaged me back 2 hours later, said, this looks absolutely incredible. Like,
Holy
I
shit.
wish you the best, Gordon.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so
That's
cool.
That's insane.
Yeah. That's a day I was truly living.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Not
That is
only
so
because
cool,
he's so
man.
famous, but he's actually somebody I truly look up to.
Yeah, oh
He
yeah.
has a very awesome story.
So we have a tradition that we forget 98% of the time.
Yeah.
So it's not really a tradition, but we're gonna make it a tradition.
We're trying.
There is your opening clip. Welcome to Tabletop Trio. We have a tradition that we forget.
Yes. Where we like to have, and you know, we have cooking episodes every now and then. We like to have we like to have our guests tell us what to cook next. And since we all play D&D, we like to have our guests roll for what we're going to be cooking.
Where's your leather cup thing?
Oh, you need a.
Yeah.
Want to do
you know,
this
we're-
tray?
we're
Yeah,
gonna
we're going to do it. We got to do it the right
We're
way.
gonna do it right. I don't want to throw this nice. Look at these corners are like, you know, precise here. I don't want to throw them on a granite table. Some bitch lives. He's got a granite table here. Throw it in the alligator. Number 4. So
Top down.
Sure.
1, 2, 3, 4.
okay, the wok.
The wok. Oh, we're cooking from wok again.
All right.
Oh yeah, the wok has been a favorable role
All right.
lately.
Put those back.
And
All
then
right. What's this dice here? What do we have with this?
D4
Okay.
because I think there's not that many pages in that book.
Okay.
So for the this is rolling for the 100. So a 1 is going to be 0 to 99.
Okay.
A 2 is page 100 to 199.
Okay.
3 is 200 to 299.
Okay.
And 4 is 400 to 499.
This is a perfect dice for this then, because it falls into almost any amount of pages you would have. All right.
Well,
so
if it
let's
doesn't,
say-
we move up to the 8.
dude, hey, no, you're playing with fire here. Let's see. 4.
4. All right. See if that has a 400.
Oh, I
300.
Sorry, 300.
Guarantee it does.
Oh, right. That's 300. So
Yep.
3. So start to 3. Here you go.
Are we doing the D100?
There we go.
Yep.
All right. This is fucking awesome. Now, what does this dice signify?
So that's the next number. So
Okay.
we're at 300.
2.
320.
320.
Meow yourself. Cat is saying
All right,
hi.
and now roll that same die one more time to get the final page number.
I'll do you one better. I'll do the recipe too.
Ooh, okay.
All
What,
right.
what did you roll?
3.
So 323.
323.
What do we got?
Dude, here we go. It's always good when you have the recipe with no picture. Shanghai style sesame noodles.
That.
Oh, hell yeah.
That sounds hella good.
I'm going to take a picture of it. We can share that. I'll share that through our group text there.
That is going to be fun.
Page 323 of the wok, Shanghai sesame noodles.
Just caught a recipe ingredient here. Creamy peanut butter, preferably natural, the kind you have to stir.
Yeah, aka
we
oily
know
AF.
it's going to be good in here.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
best-
far, everything that I've made out of that book has been phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, this is that. Yeah, my hair blew back here, but this is awesome. I love this. Okay, cool. So we got it. You
We're good.
all right?
So now our next
300 and page 323.
323.
Yep.
Yeah. So now the next time we have our cooking episode, which I guess presumably is next
In a couple weeks.
couple weeks,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be making that.
Or when we coordinate between now and the Boston Hot Sauce Festival to do the tasting video. Whether or not you guys want to make a podcast out of that, it's totally up to you, which I assume you would. But if not, we would still like to.
Everything's content.
This is kind of a middle point of all the people testing. It's going to be myself and one other guy. And we would love to do that here with you guys.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure how much of the tasting would be done on your side, but to be part of that, I'll bring some other stuff for you guys to
we'll,
enjoy.
we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Dude, thank you very much for having me on today. I have really enjoyed myself a lot.
Thank you for
This
being
has
here.
been
Yeah.
Thank you.
awesome.
Always a good time when you come on. Always a fun, good conversation.
Appreciate it very
Yeah.
much.
And let our listeners know again the best way to get a hold of you, to contact you, follow you, etc. on all the different things that you do.
You can send a self-addressed stamped envelope. No, you can message me on Instagram at castiron_Kyle. Also on YouTube, castiron_Kyle. Kind of teaser here. We're going to be launching a YouTube channel where we're going to be doing like long form videos where we have a topic, like an open forum conversation, kind of like you guys do, but with a hot sauce And wings, we're going to be calling it the Air Fryers Club.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like the Friars Club with
Yeah.
the roasts of the Dean Martin days, we're going to call it the Air Fryers Club.
Wow.
Yes.
And you guys are all welcome. We'll do a big blowout. You guys can come on and hang out. But I'm doing some YouTube shorts on there. So castiron_Kyle on YouTube. I would really appreciate to subscribe because I think I have like 14 people on there. It'd be nice to have a little more than that. And
Do it right now.
castironkyle.com for my landing page with the recommended products and the Amazon shop and all that other stuff. So I appreciate having me here. And I if you have any questions, I try to be as approachable as possible. I don't think there's any dumb questions other than one that you don't ask. So not to be cliche, but a fortune cookie here. So
Subscribed.
very good. Thank you very much, Bronson.
Working on that now.
There you go.
I'll do it after.
Bronson
But
Ferry, your last name's Ferry?
Yep.
Oh, the Bronson Ferry. Oh, I've blessed you with a subscription.
All right. Enable the fairy curse. From now on, any cast iron you touch will immediately rust.
There you go. Hey, and when you guys, I'm going to come up with a challenge for you guys. I'm going to roll some dice and shoot some shit in my cookbooks and send you guys something I want you to cook in your skillets.
You got it.
So enjoy them.
that'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
Very good.
But as always, thank you all so much for hanging out with us here on Tabletop Trio. Don't forget, you can follow us here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tabletop Trio. You can also listen to us wherever you find podcasts, so Apple, Spotify, whatever government listening device you have in your house.
The birds outside.
Yeah, just tell it to play Tabletop
Ham
Trio.
radio.
Yeah, exactly. Literally anywhere. We're here. So for one final time, I'm Bob.
I'm Joe.
And I'm going to try not to burn my house down.
And I missed a plug. Please check out, if you're into cast iron history like a nerd like I am, Podcast Iron. I paid a lot to trademark that name, so check it out.